Naruto God Level System, Chapter 401 to 420. Chapter 401 Hanabi to Die. Soon Karen and Izumi returned to the village of Kurigakure. Brother Chen, we're back, but King Mu of Wuwei refused to come back with us, and now I don't know where to go, so I guess it won't be able to escape Akatsuki's arrest. It doesn't matter if I don't come back, I knew the Five Tails would not come back. Hyuga Chen chuckled and shook his head. No matter what creatures, in their hearts, they yearn for freedom and do not want to be bound, so this is also normal. Our mission is complete, what about the reward? Karen leaned over to Hyuga-chan. What reward do you want? Go catch fish with us, and have a whole fish feast today. Yuhi and Anko held Karen from left to right and ran away quickly. Yugao and Rin stood in front of Hyuga-chen, blocking Izumi like the door god. What are you doing? Think I'm that girl Karen? Izumi snorted, stomping away. Help you drive away the harassers, just ask the teacher if you are happy. Yugao smiled charmingly, with a very bright smile. Happy, I'm happy, Hyuga-chen's expression stiffened. He tilde, Hyuga Hanabi sat not far away, covering her mouth secretly. You little girl is laughing like hell. Hyuga-chen squeezed her little face hard, and Hanabi cried out in pain. Come on sister, the big bad guy is bullying me. Hanabi yelled and shouted Hinata. Stop screaming, little girl, your sister is not here anymore. Ino and Sakura came over with playful smiles on their faces. Hanabi is so pitiful, but unfortunately I can't do anything. Tenten spread his hands helplessly. You nasty little girl also has today, it's really heartwarming. Sakura sneered and patted Hanabi's head, and Sakura hated Kiba for this little girl. She would never forget how abominable this little girl was on the boat to Kurigakure village, and seeing Hanabi suffer now, Sakura was very happy. Hanabi angrily looked at the three people who were watching the fun, and kept them on the blacklist in his heart, and he must make them look good when he finds an opportunity in the future. Little girl, are you thinking about how to get revenge on us? Ino asked, crouching down. I didn't, the three good sisters hurried to save me, I never thought of revenge on you, and we have no grudges. Hanabi said pitifully. Sakura pouted and said, you can't believe what you bad girl is saying. Hey, you are all big bad guys. Hanabi's tears flowed out. However, Hanabi's tears did not arouse anyone's sympathy. They knew for a long time that Hanabi's crying skills were unparalleled, and tears could flow as soon as they wanted them. So even Makoto doesn't trust this little girl, but Hanabi and Kushina have a good relationship. Lord Chen, do you want me to teach this little girl a lesson for you? Tamari, who was standing behind Hyuga-chen, asked. No need for Tamari, Hyuga-chen said shamefully. If Hanabi was handed over to Tamari for a lesson, she could beat Hanabi half to death. Hanabi, do you now know where you went wrong? Hyuga-chen asked. Hanabi sobbed. What did she do wrong? It was the big villain Hyuga-chen who took her anger out. It's your fault that you begged the wrong person. You are being held by me now, shouldn't you be begging me? Hyuga-chen said with a sneer. Hanabi was right in his heart, staring at Hyuga-chen with a pair of pitiful eyes. Good brother, please let me go now, okay, I won't dare to laugh at you again. You think I'll let you go if you beg me? You are dreaming. Hyuga-chen looked at Hanabi playfully. Damn it, don't be complacent. My eldest sister is Kushina, and eldest sister Kushina said that you were obediently handled by her. Hanabi shouted. Kushina really said that? Hyuga-chen asked suspiciously. Really, sister Kushina really said that? Hanabi looked guilty. Okay, you little girl, I didn't expect you to learn even the disaster. I really don't know how Kushina will deal with you when she finds out. Hyuga-chen let go of Hanabi. No, what I said is true, Miss Kushina really told me so. Hanabi quibble. Hanabi, when did I say that? I'm rather forgetful, can you remind me? Kushina stood behind Hanabi, her body burning with anger. Cold sweat dripped from Hanabi's forehead, and he twisted his neck mechanically, just in time to see Kushina, who was burning with anger and his hair fluttering without wind. A big drop of cold sweat dripped from his forehead again, and Hanabi tried his best to think about a solution. Sister Kushina, you have to listen to my explanation. Hanabi stared at Kushina with pitiful eyes. God's sins are forgiven, self-inflicted sins can't live. Hanabi, you are killing yourself. Hyuga-chan pushed Hanabi in front of Kushina, his face showing a good-looking expression. What else do you have to explain, or I'll give you a chance to explain. Kushina pulled a chair from the side and looked at Hanabi with a sneer. Hanabi scratched her head, her brain was racing, and finally she really let her find a way. The way to do this is to run away first, or else Kushina will catch him and beat him to death. Hanabi, do you want to run away? Do you think you can run away in front of me? Kushina smiled lightly. If Hanabi can escape in front of her, Kushina can find a piece of tofu and kill him. Sister Kushina, in fact, I made a slip of the tongue, can you let me go? Hanabi tugged at Kushina's clothes. Since it is impossible to slip away, just beg for mercy. Sister Kushina, you can't be so stingy. You said that you will take good care of me in the future, but you can't say anything. Don't worry, my words, Kushina, absolutely count. If I kill you, I will definitely beat you today. Kushina squeezed her fist. Sister Kushina, if you hit me, Brother Chen will feel distressed, and maybe he will take care of you at that time. Hanabi shrank towards Hyuga-Chen who was behind him. I am sorry Hanabi, I won't feel bad. Hyuga-Chen pushed her out without hesitation. Hanabi glanced at Hyuga-Chen resentfully, then raised his head and said, Sister Kushina, can you do something lightly? As far as Hanabi's small arms and legs are concerned, it's really hard to beat. Of course, Kushina means beating Hanabi, but he didn't actually do it. It's too embarrassing to beat a child. But Kushina didn't have to let Hanabi off easily. Now Hanabi is standing under the sun, and he has to stand under the sun for an hour. Sakura was so happy to see that she should clean up this black-bellied and hateful little girl like this. When will you let me go? I already know I'm wrong. Sister Hinata, come and help me. Hanabi wanted to cry without tears. But at this time, Hinata was not at home, but was dragged by Terumi-Mei and Makoto to the beach to catch fish. Chapter 402 Greedy Cat. After Hinata and Terumi-Mei came back full of harvest, they saw Hanabi standing in the yard. Hanabi, why are you so diligent today? Hinata couldn't help but ask, and at the same time she was very happy. It seemed that Hanabi was enlightened. She didn't practice so seriously before. After seeing Hinata, Hanabi burst into tears, and the aggrieved face was pitiful. Sister, the big bad brother and Kushina are bullying me. Woohoo tilde. Hanabi's tears were pouring like heavy rain. If you cry, you can cry. Hanabi is really good at it. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched, not knowing where Hanabi got so many tears. Bullying you? Impossible. Hanabi, are you causing trouble again? Hinata said in disbelief. Woo, even my sister bullied me. Hanabi cried even harder. Hinata, you don't have to worry about her. The more you care about her, the more she will cry. If you ignore her, you probably won't cry for a while. Hyuga-chen came over and took the fish basket that Hinata was carrying. Let me see what good things you caught. Hyuga-chen looked into the fish basket. Except for a few crabs, it was an octopus. Just something like that. There's more in the back. Terumi-Mei untied the fish basket behind him, and there were all kinds of fish in it. Konan Makoto and the others are still behind. We are all small fish, they are the big fish. These fish are all frozen now, but they should still be alive after thawing. Konan freezes them on purpose to keep the fish fresh. Do you really eat all fish? Although Makoto, Konan and the others make delicious food, Tenten is also a little tired of eating fish. If it wasn't for the delicious food made by Makoto and the others, Hyuga-chen would have eaten it long ago. No, Yuhi and Enko ran to the forest with Karen, saying they were going to catch some game and come back. Terumi-Mei said. Don't ignore me, Hanabi yelled, feeling very depressed. even her sister Hinata ignored her. It was really sad. We're back. Makoto and the others are back, with lots of fresh big fish. The corners of Hyuga-chen's mouth twitched. When will he have to eat so many fish? Makoto, why did you catch so many fish? How long will it take for you to eat? Tenten won't eat fish, right? It's okay, if you can't eat it, you can make it into dried fish. The taste of dried fish is delicious. Makoto said with a smile. Hanabi's saliva came out when he heard the dried fish, and he quickly cast a pleading look at Kushina beside him. I'll let you go this time, and if you dare to talk nonsense next time, I'll sew your mouth shut. Kushina said, viciously. Hanabi quickly covered his mouth and nodded obediently. What happened to Hanabi? Makoto asked. It's not this little guy talking nonsense. Kushina glared at Hanabi angrily. What if Hyuga-chan took what she said seriously and taught her a lesson? Hanabi stuck out his tongue and went to see the fish that Makoto and the others caught. Hanabi wanted to drool looking at these plump fish. Hyuga-chan patted Hanabi's head. What a greedy cat. ... The atmosphere in Akatsuki was dignified. Nagato's face was extremely ugly, and Uchiha Obito's face next to him was equally bad, but he couldn't see it because of the mask. Uchiha Itachi stood by with a blank face. No one knew what he was thinking. Kisame Hoshigaki went to deal with the wound. Naoki and Kakuzu went to make money. Deidara is dead, and we in Akatsuki have one less person. Nagato was the first to break the dignified atmosphere. It doesn't matter if Deidara is dead. Now there are 5 tails, 8 tails and Kyubi, 9 tails, who have not been arrested. Deidara has little effect on the rest, Uchiha Obito said. 6 tails and 7 tails have been captured by Naoki and Kakuzu, but the remaining 3-tailed beasts are all difficult to handle. 5 tails are Hyuga-chan's psychic beasts. I don't know Hyuga-chan's attitude yet. 8 tails are second only to Kyubi, 9 tails, but now that 8 tails are out of the world, it is relatively easy to deal with. Kyubi, 9 tails, is the strongest of the 9-tailed beasts. At the beginning, Uchiha Obito didn't have enough power to control Kyubi, 9 tails, so Kyubi, 9 tails, is not easy to deal with, especially when there is a Konoha. Uchiha Itachi, come and express your opinion. Nagato's eyes turned to the expressionless Uchiha Itachi behind him. To see through Uchiha Itachi, so when facing Uchiha Itachi, Nagato will subconsciously take precautions. You decide, I'm just a mission. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. At this time, Uchiha Itachi was most concerned about Sasuke. He really was with Orochimaru. He knew very well what Orochimaru would do. Sasuke would definitely be eaten by Orochimaru. Now that his lifespan is running out, Uchiha Itachi can clearly feel that he won't last long. In this last time, Uchiha Itachi wants to fulfill Uchiha Sasuke, hoping that Sasuke can shoulder the responsibility of guarding Konoha. Itachi, you seem to have something on your mind. Uchiha Obito stared at Uchiha Itachi closely. The plan had reached the most critical moment, and he would not allow anyone to disrupt the plan. If Uchiha Itachi might disrupt the plan, he would not hesitate to get rid of Uchiha Itachi. It's nothing, it's just my incompetent brother. He has been looking for my traces. It seems that it is time to settle his personal affairs. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. I heard that your brother killed the traitor Orochimaru. It doesn't seem as ineffective as you said. Itachi, you have to be careful. Uchiha Obito gave him a deep look. Uchiha Itachi was silent. Although he didn't have much contact with Orochimaru, Uchiha Itachi knew that he had a lot of trump cards, and he didn't think Uchiha Sasuke could kill Orochimaru. Even Orochimaru probably has some plans. In fact, unlike what Uchiha Itachi thought, Orochimaru was killed on purpose without any plan. Orochimaru was weak for 3 years, and Uchiha Sasuke killed Orochimaru while Orochimaru was weak. Orochimaru's use of immortal reincarnation was unsuccessful, but instead was absorbed by Uchiha Sasuke's full power. Can only blame Orochimaru for teaching Uchiha Sato so well, and also blame Orochimaru for not reincarnating sooner. so he deserved it. But the real undead strong Orochimaru is not so easy to die, he is now lurking on Uchiha Sasuke's body. Now is the time when you need people, and your personal matters will be put aside for now. Uchiha Itachi looked at Nagato, then turned away from the Akatsuki base. A cold light flashed in Nagato's eyes. Uchiha Itachi wanted to disobey the order. Did he also want to betray Akatsuki? Calm down, Nagato, I'll monitor Uchiha Itachi, and maybe get Akatsuki a helper. Uchiha Obito said lightly. He already had a plan in mind. Chapter 403 Obito arrives. Forget about Uchiha Itachi, but what about the Five Tails? Please tell me the location of the Five Tails. Should we arrest the Five Tails now? Nagato asked. Wait a minute, I'll go find Hyuga-chen first and find out what he's saying. Nagato nodded, leaving this matter to the masked man. What's more, Nagato has something to do now. He is going to find new Six Paths candidates. After the previous battle, he lost 4 of his Pain Six Paths, and now he has to replenish them. I'm leaving first, you can decide what to do now. It's better to catch Yao first. Uchiha Obito said and was about to leave. Wait. Nagato suddenly stopped Uchiha Obito. What else? Uchiha Obito asked, frowning. We've known each other for a long time, shouldn't you tell me your true identity? Don't say you're Uchiha Madara. I didn't believe you were Uchiha Madara at all. Nagato looked Uchiha Obito directly. Uchiha Obito took a deep look at Nagato and said, what's the point of name identity? We want to complete the plan, don't we? Nagato watched Uchiha Obito leave and did not speak again. I hope you didn't deceive me, or I will kill you if you run out of vitality. Nagato said silently. Now that the plan is more than half completed, Nagato has an inexplicable sense of panic in his heart. Yahiko, do you think what I'm doing now is right or wrong? Can it really make the world peaceful? Nagato's heart was already shaken at this time. Main thing is that Izumi's Rinnegan hit Nagato. Nagato thought he was unique, he was a god, and his mission was to make the world peaceful. But the appearance of the second pair of Rinnegan completely shook Nagato's heart. It's started now, I'm going to go no matter what, I will definitely fulfill Yahiko's ideal. Nagato left the Akatsuki base with Heavenly Path and Human Road, and he wanted to choose a powerful ninja to become the other paths. Although there are no requirements for making Pain Six Paths, the stronger the ninja will be when made into Pain Six Paths. Nagato is looking for a candidate for Pain Six Paths, and Uchiha Obito has come to Kurigakure village via Kamui. Watching Kurigakure village, Uchiha Obito's eyelids jumped up. He still remembered that he was beaten away from Kurigakure village by a woman before. And people still put water in, otherwise he can grow to a height of several meters now. Would you like to go in? Uchiha Obito hesitated while standing outside the village of Kurigakure. And, Uchiha Obito bites Kiba and sneaks into the village of Kurigakure. No matter what, he can't let the Moon Eye plan fail, he wants to create a world where only gays exist. If Hyuga-chan knew that Uchiha Obito's plan was to create a world where only gays exist, he would definitely slap this disgusting thing to death. Village of Kurigakure, Uchiha Obito, and find out where Hyuga Tatsu lives. Just when Uchiha Obito was about to knock on the door, a bolt of lightning fell from the sky, and Uchiha Obito was stunned by the lightning. The door was opened, and Hyuga-chan's shadow clone came out, dragging Uchiha Obito into it. This guy let him go once before, but he didn't expect to dare to come to Kurigakure village. He was impatient. Terumi Mei said dissatisfiedly. How to deal with it? Do you want to destroy it humanely? Tsunade asked. Forget it, let's look at his purpose first. Hyuga-chen picked up a basin of icy cold water and poured it on Uchiha Obito. The arc flickered on Uchiha Obito, and Uchiha Obito woke up under the stimulation of the icy cold water. What's the matter? Where is this place? Uchiha Obito was confused by a lightning strike, opened his eyes in confusion and looked around. I'm afraid this guy is not a fool, Hanabi said. Hanabi's words caused Uchiha Obito to wake up suddenly. watching Hyuga-chen and others suddenly become vigilant, and he gradually recalled the previous events. It was as if he was about to knock on the door, then an inexplicable lightning strike hit him, and he lost consciousness. "You came here to find me?" Hyuga-chen asked. "That's right, I'm here to find you." Uchiha Obito's body twitched, and the effects of lightning still lingered on him. "Then what's the matter with you? Hurry up and say it quickly, or I will strike you with a thunderbolt." Hyuga-chen waved his hand and said. This time Uchiha Obito affirmed that the inexplicable thunderbolt was released by Hyuga-chen, and anger rose in his heart. Uchiha Obito secretly uses Kamui, but his Kamui seems to be ineffective and can't be used at all. Uchiha Obito's face was gloomy, and again, when he was kicked out of the village of Kurigakure before, his pupil technique Kamui also suddenly couldn't be used. "You and Uchiha Madara are collaborators?" Uchiha Obito asked. "Aren't you talking nonsense? Uchiha Madara should have told you." "What the hell happened with the five tails?" Uchiha Obito's eyes fell on Izumi and Karen. "Are you questioning me?" Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Obito with indifferent eyes, as if looking at an ant. Uchiha Obito felt a tingling in his cheek and wanted to get angry, but his sanity reminded him that he had no strength at all. "You shouldn't interfere with the five tails, right?" Uchiha Obito asked the most concerned question. If Hyuga-chen continued to intervene, they would not be able to capture Wu-wei at all, and if they couldn't catch Wu-wei, they couldn't even seal the existing Lu-wei and Naneo in their hands. Because the seals of the tailed beasts are sealed in sequence, starting with the first tail, and then sealing Kyubi, 9 tails, last, this order cannot be chaotic. "That guy with 5 tails doesn't know what's wrong. You can catch it if you want. Remember to teach that beast a good lesson for me," Hyuga-chen said. "If you have nothing else to do, get out of here. I don't want to talk nonsense with you." Hyuga-chen waved his hand to tell Uchiha Obito to get out. Uchiha Obito glanced at Hyuga-chen angrily, then suppressed his inner anger and left. After the plan is completed, when he becomes a 10 tails Jinchuriki, column force, then come to avenge today's revenge. After leaving Hyuga Tatsu's house and feeling able to use Kamui, Uchiha Obito left quickly without a word. Kurigakure village is a dangerous place for Uchiha Obito, and it is best to leave early. This guy Uchiha Obito should come to test my attitude towards the 5 tails to see if I care about the 5 tails. Hyuga-chen guessed. This guy is running really fast. My hands are itching. I really want to fight with someone. Anko said eagerly. "Anko, your hands are itchy, right? Come here and I'll help you out." Hyuga-chen beckoned. "How to solve it?" Anko asked suspiciously. "It's very simple. You stretch out your hand, and I'll hit you twice and it won't itch." After Anko heard it, she ran out in fright. She wanted to hit people, not to be hit. Chapter 404 Snake Squad is coming. After Uchiha Obito returned to the Akatsuki base, he immediately ordered Akatsuki's personnel to go and bring Wu-wei back. "I didn't expect you, Fei, to be able to issue orders so easily," Kakuzu said lightly. In fact, except Kakuzu and Nawaki, the rest of the people know the status of Fei. Of course, no one knows his specific identity. "Kakuzu, are you not convinced?" Uchiha Obito looked at Kakuzu indifferently. Akatsuki had already lost several people, and Uchiha Obito didn't care about losing one more person. "If you want to convince me, you must at least show your strength." "Kakuzu is right. After all, you were just a nobody before, and it seems a little inappropriate to suddenly ride on our heads now," said Nawaki, who had not spoken. Uchiha Obito looked at Pain, but Pain ignored him at all. To be honest, Uchiha Obito is giving orders like this, and Nagato is also unhappy, and he will definitely not ignore him now. "Looks like I have to show my strength." Uchiha Obito's eyes narrowed, and a dangerous light shone. Kaden, Fire Style, Flurry. This is the ninjutsu released by Uchiha Obito combined with Kamui. The power is very powerful, and the attack speed is very fast, covering Kakuzu and Nawaki. Naoki was the first to react and used his body to move away from the spot. Although Kakuzu was a bit slower, he still reacted and successfully blocked Uchiha Obito's ninjutsu with Suiten water style and Doden earth style. I don't know how it is now, Uchiha Obito asked indifferently. Yes, but that's not enough. Kakuzu attacked with the four masks, and attacked Uchiha Obito with his tentacles. Uchiha Obito uses Kamui, and Kakuzu's attacks all go through Uchiha Obito's body, failing to cause any damage to Uchiha Obito. Okay, I admit you, Kakuzu said directly. Mainly because he saw that Uchiha Obito was about to attack. If he didn't find a step to go down now, he would be himself the one who couldn't come down. Uchiha Obito, who was going to fight back, felt that he had punched cotton. Because Kakuzu's fighting power was still needed, Uchiha Obito didn't care too much. Now it's better to take down the three-tailed beasts first. Countries have already become wary of their Akatsuki. At this time, people still need people to attract firepower. Moreover, in the eyes of Uchiha Obito, Kakuzu is just a small person, but Senju Naoki is a bit difficult to handle. The Senju Naoki guy has a background, Hyuga-chen is his backstage. Uchiha Obito didn't dare to touch Senju Naoki at all. And Uchiha Obito couldn't figure out Senju Naoki's strength, but he believed that Senju Naoki's strength would definitely not be weak. Let's put down the things on hand first. Let's go and deal with the 5 tails first, and then grab the 5 tails back and then talk about it. Uchiha Obito instructed. Uchiha Obito is very clear about the current hiding place of the 5 tails. Capture went well, even Kakuzu and the others didn't make a move. Uchiha Obito leaned on Sharingan to control Wu-Wei. QB 9 tails, Uchiha Obito can control it, and a small 5-tailed control couldn't be easier. Returning to the Akatsuki base, Uchiha Obito and the others sealed the 5 tails, 6 tails, and 7 tails. However, because the seal takes time, Akatsuki's people will probably be silent for a while. The Land of Water, the snake team composed of Uchiha Sasuke, Ghost Light Shueyu, and Chongo shuttled. Snake Squad was established by Uchiha Sasuke, with the goal of killing the genocide murderer Uchiha Itachi, and now their goal is to stay at Hyuga-chen in Kurigakure village. The person that Uchiha Sasuke hates most is Uchiha Itachi, but he has a lot of enemies left, such as Hyuga-chen, Hyuga Hinata, Hyuga Hanabi. Hyuga-chen, needless to say, Uchiha Sasuke just has hatred for him. And he hates Hyuga Hinata because of jealousy in his heart. Why is she better than him as a woman? Uchiha Sasuke hated Hinata a long time ago, not to mention that Hinata hurt him. Hanabi also instructed the members of the Hyuga family to beat Uchiha Sasuke, which is when Uchiha Sasuke went to Hyuga's house to trouble Hyuga-chen. Maybe Hyuga-chen, Hanabi and the others have forgotten, but Uchiha Sasuke has never forgotten. He has always kept it in his heart. Uchiha Sasuke is a person with a strong hatred. Anyone who hurts him is his enemy. He now has the strength to face everything, and he can take revenge. Now that he has regarded Hyuga-chen and others as an appetizer of revenge, Uchiha Itachi, the big dish, will stay behind. Sasuke, let's attack a shinobi village. Are you sure we're not going to die? Shigego said, tangled. Matter how I look at it now, I think Uchiha Sasuke's decision is mentally retarded. Kurigakure with just the 3 of them. Did Sasuke Uchiha really think that killing a weak Orochimaru would be enough to fight a big ninja village? Don't worry, I believe in my strength. Uchiha Sasuke said confidently, clenching his fists. In fact, he is not confident now, but arrogant. Shigego opened his mouth and said nothing in the end. From the moment he was rescued by Sasuke, Shigego regarded Sasuke as the most important person. He can die for Sasuke. Ghost Lantern Shueyu was full of interest. He was originally from Kurigakure village, and he had an extraordinary obsession with the 7 ninja swords of Kurigakure village. Gaidong Shueyu's brother is Gaidong Manu, a genius who can skillfully use the 7 ninja swords, and Gaidong Shuiyu also wants to be as strong as his brother. Then how do we enter the village of Kurigakure? We can't just rush in. Gaidong Shuiyu asked. If they rush in directly, they don't even have 10 lives to play. Why not? Just those ninjas in Kurigakure village, can they stop our strongest team in the ninja world? Uchiha Sasuke said lightly. Sasuke, you are too arrogant. I know the strength of Kurigakure village very well. I don't want to die with you. Guilan Shuiyu was a little scared. Sasuke Uchiha glanced at him 3.5 times and said coldly, if you're scared, I'll kill you first, the snake squad doesn't need waste. Guidong Shuiyu looked at the indifferent Uchiha Sasuke with a shy smile on his face. He knew that Uchiha Sasuke was not joking. I can kill you without Sasuke. Shigego gave Gaidong Shuiyu a warning look. And Kimimaro are good friends, and now Uchiha Sasuke has replaced Kimimaro's position and has become the most important person in Chango. I'm just talking, you can do it as you see fit, I'll just follow orders. Guidong Shuiyu said quickly, having already decided in her heart to run away immediately if something went wrong. In fact, this is normal. Now Ghost Shuiyu doesn't have too deep feelings for Uchiha Sasuke, and naturally he will not follow Sasuke to die. Let's go. Uchiha Sasuke and his party rushed forward, and they were not far from the village of Kurigakure. Chapter 405 Break into the village of Kurigakure. Do you really want to go in at the main entrance? Ghost Light Shuiyu asked, swaggeringly entering Kurigakure village, thanks to Uchiha Sasuke's thought. What are you afraid of? Even if Mizukage shoots, it's not my opponent. Uchiha Sasuke said, Orochimaru can make a big disturbance in Konoha village and retreat. He even killed Orochimaru, why can't he help Kurigakure village? Let's go together. Changwu dragged the ghost lamp Shuiyu and walked forward. The three of them walked over swaggeringly, not hiding the slightest bit. They certainly caught the attention of the Kurigakure village gatekeeper ninjas. As the gate guard ninjas, they were preventing suspicious people from entering the Kurigakure village. Stop, who are you? The guard asked cautiously. Looking at Uchiha Sasuke's clothes and the knife in his hand, he knew that they were not ordinary people, so the guards should be vigilant. Chidori Sharp Spear. The thunder spear pierced the hearts of several guards guarding the gate, and they fell to the ground weakly. I rely on, so arrogant, to kill directly. Guidong Shuiyu felt that they were about to finish playing and wanted to run away, but Changwu behind him kept staring at him. Angry Guidong Shuiyu scolded Changwu in his heart. Is Uchiha Sasuke your father? How long have you been following him, and now you are actually facing him like that? Come on, let's go in. Sasuke retracted his Kusanagi sword and walked into the village of Kurigakure. Why are you still standing there? Hurry up, don't you be afraid. Changwu pushed the ghost lamp Shuiyu who was standing motionless there. Fear, of course, the ghost lights and water moon are afraid, and the original Orochimaru did not dare to take it like this. 3 people dare to break into a big ninja village, this is not to treat Kurigakure as a human being, right? Changwu, you should understand the strength of a ninja village, especially one of the 5 major ninja villages like Kurigakure village. We really have no life if we go in. Ghost Light Shuiyu said. I don't know how strong the village of Kurigakure is, you can just follow in. Chango dragged the ghost lamp Shuiyu and walked in. Forget it, I'll be crazy with you once, and I'll take it back as a favor. Guidong Shuiyu bit Kiba and walked in. After they entered the village, Anbu ninja from Kurigakure village had already spotted them, not to mention the death of the guard at the village gate. However, the people who dared to invade Kurigakure village so brazenly, it was the first time they met, it was too arrogant. You stop them first, and I'll notify Mizukage to assist Master Ching first. And Anbu Kurigakure went to inform Mizukage to help Zuo Ching, and the rest came out of the shadows and looked at Uchiha Sasuke and the 3 of them coldly. It seems that someone who doesn't know whether to live or die has come to the door. Since you are courting death, I will fulfill you. The 3 Tomo Sharingan in Uchiha Sasuke's eyes slowly turned. Bold, you dare to be so arrogant when you come to Kurigakure village, arrest them for me, and hand them over to Mizukage-sama. This Anbu team immediately started with Uchiha Sasuke and the others, but their strongest was only Special Jonin, who was really not the opponent of Uchiha Sasuke and the three of them. Orochimaru left no room for the cultivation of Uchiha Sasuke. Now Uchiha Sasuke has the strength of the elite Jonin under the guidance of Orochimaru. But it was Orochimaru who taught Uchiha Sasuke too much, so he fell into the hands of Uchiha Sasuke. Chidori Sharp Spear. The Special Jonin in the distance could react, he was pierced through the heart by the Thunder Spear. Raiden Thunder style attack speed is very fast, as long as you are not careful, you will be attacked. A bunch of trash dares to stop me. Let Hyuga-chen get out of here for me. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. What a big tone, are you the missing Ninuchiha Sasuke of Konoha? Ching led Anbu elite ninjas over. Looking at the corpse lying on the ground, his face instantly turned ugly. I said let Hyuga-chen get out, you guys don't ask for a dead end. Looking at Kurigakure who surrounded him, Uchiha Sasuke said lightly, without the slightest panic on his face. In the village of Kurigakure, how dare you, a missing nin from Konoha, dare to give me a commanding tone? Are all missing nins so rampant now? Ching said angrily. Are you Mizukage? Gaidong Shueyu asked. No. If it's not Mizukage who dares to chirp, let your Mizukage come out quickly. Gaidong Shueyu shouted arrogantly. Now that the ghost lights and water moon have been seen, it is almost dead at this time, it is better to be arrogant once, and there will be no regrets when you die. Ghost Lamp Shueyu already has the consciousness of death. Shigego didn't speak. Normally, Shigego is more honest, but he is more irritable than Uchiha Sasuke. Kill them for me, Ching roared angrily. He is usually a calm person, but these people are too arrogant. This is the village of Kurigakure, not the outside. I ran into the village of Kurigakure to be arrogant. This is to come and beat them in the face of the village of Kurigakure. A missing nin from Konoha came to Kurigakure village to slap them in the face, and if they didn't pay the price, then Kurigakure village wouldn't be ashamed. Sweden Water Style Water and Iron Cannon Art. Shueyu understands the principle that the first strike is the strongest, and he will do it first before the Anbu ninja of Kurigakure village makes his first move. This is the trick of the Ghost Lamp family. Are you a member of the Ghost Lamp family? Ching suddenly recognized the origin of the Ghost Lamp Shueyu. The technique of water and iron cannons is almost the exclusive ninjutsu of the Ghost Lamp clan. Qinghai has never seen any ninja who is not from the Ghost Lamp family use the technique of water iron cannons. During Qing's questioning, several Anbu ninjas were pierced by water bullets from the water iron cannon. The piercing power of the water and iron cannon is very strong. As long as the 317 is hit at the key point, there is basically no way to survive. Damn missing nin, keep them for me, Kurigakure village is not so easy to break into. Qingda shouted. You go and notify Mizukage-sama. Forget it, don't bother Mizukage-sama with a few missing nins. Qing originally wanted someone to inform Terumi-mei, but then gave up after thinking about it. A few missing nin went to inform Lord Mizukage. Doesn't it mean that they are not doing well? Lord Mizukage has handed over the entire Kurigakure village to him, which is his trust. If he couldn't solve even this trivial matter, he would not be ashamed of Mizukage-sama's trust. After thinking about this, Ao gave up the idea of notifying Terumi-mei. Chanjiro, you take down that Konoha missing nin named Uchiha Sasuke. Ao said. Rumors in the ninja world that Uchiha Sasuke killed Orochimaru. Whether it is true or not, Qing must be careful. If they can't be killed, they will lose the face of the entire Kurigakure village. Chojuro nodded and took out the flounder behind him. Guidong Shueyu looked at the double knife flounder with a longing light in his eyes. Back then, the weapon of his brother, Guidong Manu, was the double knife flounder. Guidong Shueyu shook his head with a wry smile, and looked at Kurigakure who surrounded them. It was a question whether he could survive, let alone the idea of playing flounder. Chapter 406 Uchiha Sasuke with inflated confidence. Sasuke Uchiha frowned as he looked at Kurigakure, who kept coming. Are you scared? It's too late. When you broke into Kurigakure village and killed the ninjas in Kurigakure village, your fate was doomed. Ching snorted. Flamfish liberation. Chojuro shouted loudly. The double knives continued to grow as they were injected with chakra, and the flounder shone with light. Be careful, the double knife flounder is very strong, and it should be the strongest attack among the 7 ninja knives. Gaidong Shuiyu reminded. In fact, if the chakra is enough, the double blade flounder can make an attack comparable to the tailed beast bomb. Uchiha Sasuke would have been alert without the ghost lamp Suzuki's reminder, because he sensed danger in Chenjiro's body. A light ball bombarded at a very fast speed. Uchiha Sasuke concentrated on using Sharingan, which was barely able to see clearly, and then used the instant body technique to dodge. However, Suzuki and Shigego were not so lucky, and were hit by the ball of light from the double-sworded flounder. Ghost Lantern Shuiyu has the hydration technique, which is also the proud secret technique of the Ghost Lantern family. This hydration technique is similar to the elementalization of the natural devil fruit, which can invalidate physical attacks. However, the technique of hydration is very afraid of Raiden Thunder Style, and the game is basically over when Raiden Thunder Style hits, so Ghost Light Shuiyu is restrained by Sasuke. Ghost Light Shuiyu used the hydration technique to avoid this blow. Changwu made himself into a fairy, and relied on the enhancement of the fairy to resist the blow. The immortal transformation is the transformation of the curse, and the Orochimaru is the curse that was researched by Changwu. Changwu is the source of the curse. In fact, the curse is a method of using natural energy. It's just not as stable as Sage Mode, and if you're not careful, you will run away. Shigego is very special. He is different from ordinary people. He is born to absorb natural energy, but he cannot control it at all. This is also a kind of Kekkei Genkei. Changwu, are you alright? Gaidong Shuiyu asked with concern. In fact, as a companion, Gaidong Shuiyu is quite a good person. It's fine, Shigego replied lightly. Sweetened water style, great waterfall technique. Quote. Ghost Lantern Shuiyu laughed out loud at the great waterfall technique used by Chenjiro. Sweetened water style is completely supplementing him with physical strength. This kid is really a ninja of the Ghost Lantern clan. Did he leave the village during the blood fog? Ching said with a frown. He knows the hydration technique of the Ghost Lamp clan very well, and it is very difficult to deal with. There are not many Raiden Thunder Style members of the Kurigakure Village Association, so this kid is very difficult to deal with. Those who know Raiden Thunder Style use Raiden Thunder Style to attack that white-haired kid. Ching Da shouted. Raiden Thunder Style Chidori Sharp Spear. Jinchuriki column hit Ao's chest directly. Sasuke Uchiha watched Ao send orders and knew that his status was definitely not low, so he was ready to deal with him first. When this guy is dealt with, it's time to retreat while the Kurigakure village riots. That's right, Sasuke Uchiha is ready to retreat, and he now knows very well that it is very difficult to deal with the ninjas of Kurigakure village with his strength, and it is not realistic to go to Hyuga-chen. And although he doesn't know Hyuga-chen's specific strength, he also understands that Hyuga-chen's strength is very strong. Although Sasuke Uchiha is confident that he can defeat Hyuga-chen, there are still ninjas from Kurigakure village, and Hyuga-chen is surrounded by a very powerful Hyuga Hinata. In fact, what Sasuke Uchiha is most afraid of is Hyuga Hinata. After all, as far as he knows, Hyuga Hinata is more powerful than Uchiha Itachi's family sinner. Although Uchiha Sasuke is confident that after 3 years of training, he is definitely stronger than Hyuga Hinata, but he is not sure to defeat Hyuga Hinata under the siege of so many people. Because of killing Orochimaru, the current Uchiha Sasuke has swelled beyond description. Perhaps Sasuke Uchiha already thought he was the strongest in the ninja world. In fact, let alone Hyuga-chen, Hinata can kill Uchiha Sasuke with one move, and even Uchiha Sasuke's strength is not comparable to the current Sakura and Ino. Although Uchiha Sasuke really endured hardships and worked hard at Orochimaru, but Sakura and Ino are taught by many powerful teachers. Uchiha Sasuke may not be comparable to them. It's a bit far, but Uchiha Sasuke is a bit difficult to finish. Maybe one-on-one Ching is really not Uchiha Sasuke's opponent. But Ching is also an old fritter who has gone through the war in the ninja world. He is very experienced in combat. It is impossible for Uchiha Sasuke to kill Ching by sneak attack. A sideways to avoid Uchiha Sasuke's sneak attack, and then use the speedy hand seal to send a water dragon to bombard Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke hurriedly dodged, but at this time a Jonin appeared behind Uchiha Sasuke, slashed his back with a knife, and blood splattered. Uchiha Sasuke groaned, turned around and chopped off the arm of the Jonin who attacked. Kaden, fire style, fierce dragon flame jutsu. Suiten, water style, water formation wall. Kurigakure easily blocked Uchiha Sasuke's Kaden, fire style, by relying on Suiten, water style. Uchiha Sasuke was indeed dizzy with anger, and even when he went to kill Orochimaru, he didn't suffer such a big loss. What's going on? Just then, Enko and Rin walked here with fresh vegetables they just bought in their hands. Master Enko, Master Rin, these three guys broke into Kurigakure village, and also killed the ninjas in our Kurigakure village. Ching said quickly. These three guys. You'll figure it out yourself. Enko glanced at them, then lost interest. They have to go back quickly. Makoto and the others are waiting for them to buy food and go back. These two women have high status. Sasuke Uchiha thought for a moment, then approached Enko and Rin in an instant, preparing to hijack one and leave the village of Kurigakure. Just that Uchiha Sasuke has a good idea, but the reality is very skinny. As soon as Uchiha Sasuke approached the past, he was kicked away by Enko. 7 or 8 ribs were broken on Uchiha Sasuke's chest, which almost cost Uchiha Sasuke his life. You dare to attack me, you teach them a hard lesson. Enko said, clenching his fists. If he wasn't in a hurry to go back, Enko would definitely stay and beat Uchiha Sasuke with a hemiplegia. Understood Enko-sama, Ching said with a salute. Enko and Rin left. Green stared at Uchiha and Sasuke with fierce eyes. At this time, Shigego was working hard to treat Uchiha Sasuke, and he was very anxious. He himself is not afraid of death, but he will never let Sasuke Uchiha die. It's no wonder that Uchiha Sasuke didn't return to Konoha and Uzumaki Naruto to continue their old relationship. It turned out to be another new love. Just pity Uzumaki Naruto. How's Sasuke's injury? Gaidong Shueyu asked while resisting the attack. Fortunately, he was good at hydration, otherwise he would have been hacked to death by the ninjas of Kurigakure village by now. Chapter 407 Enko who kills every day. Why are you two so slow? Kushina asked. Akimbo. It also takes time to pick fresh vegetables. If you don't go, you won't know how troublesome it will be. If you are so lazy, you have no right to think that we are slow. Enko pouted. What did you say, Enko? Kushina clenched her fists, looking dangerously at Enko. Why, do you want to bully me? The teacher is watching. Be careful, I will let the teacher teach you a good lesson and make you cry and beg for mercy. Enko immediately hid behind Hyuga-chen after saying that. Kushina's angry little face turned to Yuhi, making me cry and beg my mother for mercy. Today I will see who is crying and begging for mercy. Enko, come here and stretch your head over, I'll show you something good. Kushina said with a gloomy expression while clenching her fists. But, I didn't go, and I didn't tell any lies. Didn't you beg for mercy? I've heard you screaming and begging for mercy several times. Enko pouted. I hash at asterisk and amp. Kushina really wants to beat Enko, especially now. Enko, you're going to die. Hyuga-chen couldn't help saying. Teacher, you have to protect me, otherwise you may not see your lovely apprentice. Enko lay on Hyuga-chan's back, holding Hyuga-chan tightly with both hands, for fear of being thrown out by Hyuga-chan. Don't worry, Kushina won't kill your 067, you can go in peace. Hyuga-chen comforted. No, you can tell by the look of her that she's going to kill me. Anko said, terrified. You didn't kill yourself, you deserve to be killed, Kurenai Yuhi said gloatingly. Chen, get out of the way, I must teach Anko a lesson today and let her know how good I am. Kushina's fingers cracked. All right Kushina, Anko is right. Hyuga-chan gave Kushina a smirk. Kushina got angry, opened his mouth to bite on Hyuga-chan, and slapped Hyuga-chan with both hands in annoyance. Don't talk, are you a dog? If you really like to bite, then I promise to let you bite enough when no one is there. Hyuga-chan said with a deep meaning. Kushina pretty face a Yuhi, give Hyuga-chan a big Byakugan. Anko, wait for me, I don't believe that you'll be lying on Chen's back all your life, then I'll see how I clean you up. Kushina picked up the cup next to her, and smashed it into pieces. A little bit. Anko drew hatred very fiercely. Don't make trouble, Kushina, if you're busy, come and help me cut vegetables. Makoto shouted. Oh no, my body suddenly has no strength, I need to rest. Kushina sat on the chair and said weakly. You're lazy, you're lazy. Tsunade gave Kushina a contemptuous look. Kushina was definitely the laziest person she had ever seen. Haha tilde anyone in this world can call me lazy, but you are the only one who can't. Why can't I do it? Look at yourself first when you talk about me, you have no right to call me lazy. Kushina looked at Tsunade who was lying on the table and said with contempt. Alright, you two are big lazy bastards, don't talk about anyone else, be peaceful. Hyuga-chan ran over to persuade them, otherwise the two of them might quarrel. Shut up, you're the laziest one. Tsunade and Kushina said in unison. Bullshit, did I ever get lazy when I was fighting on Chuong? Hyuga-chan retorted angrily. You big idiot full of H, walk away from me, so as not to contaminate the pure us. Kushina kicked Hyuga-chan away. Teacher, as long as you help me settle Sister Kushina and let her not trouble me, I can make you H, Anko tempted while lying on Hyuga-chan. My head is full of impure thoughts, come here and see how I clean you up. Kushina took the opportunity to drag Anko off Hyuga-chan. Ah, teacher come and save me. Anko shouted, reaching out his hand. Soon Anko was covered by Kushina and pulled into the corner for repairs. Anko's screams resounded in the yard, but it didn't arouse anyone's sympathy, instead they all showed schadenfreude smiles. Hanabi had already run over to cheer on Kushina. Teacher, when we came back from buying vegetables, we met 3 people who came to Kurigakure village to make trouble. One of them seemed to be Sasuke Uchiha. Rin said to Hyuga-chan. Uchiha Sasuke, why did he come to Kurigakure village? Did he come to me on purpose? Hyuga-chan said suspiciously. I'll take a look. Hyuga-chan stood up and walked out. I'm going to. Hanabi trotted after him. Remember to come back quickly or you won't be waiting for dinner, Makoto shouted. Got it. Come on your back. Hanabi jumped up and lay on Hyuga-chan's back. You are also a little lazy. Be careful that your sister sees you being so lazy and will teach you a lesson. Then you should not come to me crying. Hyuga-chan chuckled lightly. My sister won't teach me a lesson. Hurry up, don't go too late and it's over. Hanabi tugged at Hyuga-chan's hair. Don't mess up my hair, be careful I hit you. Hyuga-chan patted Hanabi's hand. Hanabi blew on Yuhi's hand, and tears rolled in the corners of his eyes. It really hurts. I didn't expect this big bad brother to attack so hard, but he must hold back and not cry, or he will be laughed at again. When Hyuga-chan and Hanabi arrived, the 3 of Uchiha Sasuke were already lying on the nest, and they would not have been lying on the nest so quickly, but Anko sent Uchiha Sasuke directly to the nest. Uchiha Sasuke, who has the highest fighting power among them, is lying in the nest, so will the other 2 be far away. Even if Chongo turned on the runaway mode, he couldn't avoid being beaten down, and even Chongo was worse than Uchiha Sasuke and Gaidong Suzuki. What? It's already down. Hanabi looked disappointed. Lord Hyuga-chan, you are here. Ching saw Hyuga-chan and immediately came over. What's going on with these 3 guys? Why did you come to Kurigakure village? Hyuga-chen asked with interest. I don't know about this either, but that Uchiha Sasuke seems to be here to find you. In fact, I wanted to arrest the three of them and let you go. I didn't expect you to come here. You came to see me for a joke. Uchiha Sasuke stared at Hyuga-chen with murderous eyes. Hyuga-chen gave Uchiha Sasuke a thumbs up. He guessed right, Hyuga-chen came to see the joke. The three of them dare to come to Kurigakure village. Is this because of excess self-confidence? No, this is no longer self-confidence. It should be a problem with the brain, commonly known as brain damage. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fists. In fact, he was not completely out of combat power. He still had a lot of chakra left and could still give it a try. Maybe he can use the strongest Raiden Thunder-style mystery, the strongest move he created, and kill the hateful guy in front of him. Chapter 408 Shatter Like the Sky. Mirror Flower Water Moon. Bad bastard, what are you going to do with them? Do you want to snap them off? Hanabi wiped his neck. I think I should deal with you first, but you call me a big bad guy. You are really brave, don't you need to deal with it? Hyuga-chen pulled Hanabi off his back and asked fiercely. No, Brother Chen, you heard it wrong, I didn't call you a big badass. Hanabi raised his hand pitifully. I misheard you, you big-headed bastard, and I don't know who you learned to tell nonsense with your eyes open. Hyuga-chen grabbed Hanabi's ear and tugged it. How dare you ignore me, bastard? Assistant Uchiha sank his fingers deeply into the dirt, biting Kiba angrily. Sasuke, you'd better say a few words less. Guideng Shuiyu lay on the ground with a very helpless tone. Now that they have all fallen into the hands of the enemy, it's okay if you don't want to escape, but you are still trying to find a sense of existence. I really don't know if you are stupid. Guideng Shuiyu lay on the ground and looked at Changwu, who had passed out in a coma, and couldn't tell whether he regretted it or not. However, he knew very well that he had been planted, and this time it was very likely that his life would be lost. Ignore you. Did you do something wrong? Are you qualified to let me look directly at you? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Sasuke amusingly. Sasuke Uchiha was angry. Tomo Sharingan stared at Hyuga-chen tightly. He wanted to use Sharingan demonic illusion to make Hyuga-chen look good. Put away your unpopular demonic illusion. Any demonic illusion in front of me is a cloud, and you are not even qualified to be killed by me. Hyuga-chen said disdainfully. Sasuke Uchiha is now an elite Jonin at best, and I really don't know where he got the confidence to break into the village of Kurigakure. Even his older brother Uchiha Itachi, who broke into the village of Kurigakure by himself, had to flee in embarrassment, even if Hyuga Tatsu, Terumi Mei and the others did not take action. How dare you stare at us? Hanabi looked at Sasuke Uchiha who glared at them, and was very upset. He looked around, then picked up a stone and threw it at Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke couldn't dodge because he was angry, and was hit by a stone on the bridge of his nose. Blood splattered everywhere, and Uchiha Sasuke's nose was smashed. You can't even dodge the small stone I threw, it's really weak, watch me smash you to death. This time Hanabi picked up the kunai and the shuriken from the ground and threw them at Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke immediately came to a donkey and rolled, and then successfully avoided kunai and shuriken. You are courting death, and let you see the strongest ninjutsu I created. I originally wanted to leave it to that man. Now I will let you test it. Uchiha Sasuke roared angrily. Both hands hand seal. First use a few fierce dragon flame jutsu to hit the clouds to generate updrafts. Create thundercumulus clouds by updrafts, and then use Chidori to lead down the natural lightning. Let's be ashes under the power of nature. Raiden Thunder Style Kirin. Raiden Thunder Style Kirin has a wide range, high power, fast speed, and consumes very little chakra, so it has a lot of advantages. However, there are also many shortcomings. This ninjutsu requires high precision. Perhaps it consumes less chakra than other S-rank ninjutsu, but it consumes a lot of energy. Even if one accidentally guides it crooked, it is very likely that it will finally be hacked on itself, and it will be hacked to death. Ninjutsu will not hurt you because it is released by you, and ninjutsu will not recognize the master. This time Uchiha Sasuke's release was very successful, and the thunder fell in 1/1000th of a second, faster than the speed of sound. Hyuga-chen stretched out his hand and took Raiden, Thunder-style Kirin next. For Hyuga-chen, who has the Thunder Fruit, this is to replenish his energy. How is it possible? How is this possible? Uchiha Sasuke's face was full of disbelief. Hyuga-chen actually caught his strongest ninjutsu with one hand, which was a big blow to him. The ninjutsu, which he thought was the strongest trump card, was easily caught. Uchiha Sasuke lowered his head in despair, unable to accept the result. Sasuke, are you okay? Shigego opened his eyes, and Uchiha Sasuke used Kirin's movements to wake him from his coma. The ninjas in Kurigakure village looked horrified, but fortunately they were blocked, otherwise would they have survived such a powerful ninjutsu? This is an unknown. Anyway, even if he survives by chance, he will be disabled. Scared me, it turned out to be a paper tiger. Hanabi patted the little breast that was just beginning to develop. Not a paper tiger. Hyuga-chen rubbed Hanabi's little head. Looking at the entire ninja world, Raiden Thunder-style Kirin is definitely the most powerful ninjutsu among all S-rank ninjutsu. Of course, this is only a comparison of S-rank ninjutsu, and there is still no way to compare it with Super S-rank ninjutsu. I'm going to kill you, Chidori, Lightning Cutter. Thunderbolt wrapped around the Kusanagi sword, making the already sharp Kusanagi sword even sharper and more penetrating. Break like the sky, Kyoka Suzuki. Hyuga-chen took Zanpakuto Kyoka Suzuki out. Uchiha Sasuke's Kusanagi sword pierced the heart of the ghost. Suzuki's eyes widened, not understanding why Uchiha Sasuke attacked him. Because the Kusanagi sword was entangled with thunder and lightning, the ghost lamp Shueyu couldn't use the hydration technique at all, and finally died unwillingly. Both eyes widened, and even if he died, there was still a strong resentment. Died in the hands of his own people, and in the hands of people he believes in, Gaidong Shueyu would not be reconciled even if he died. If it weren't for the fact that this world didn't exist and turned into a specter after death, now Ghost Light Shueyu has turned into a specter to seek revenge for Uchiha Sasuke. Ha ha ha, I finally killed you. Uchiha Sasuke covered his head and let out a crazy Iori-style laughter. Sasuke, why are you? Shigego stared at Uchiha Sasuke with wide eyes. Huh, you didn't die. Is it a substitute technique? Then I'll kill you again. Uchiha Sasuke smiled coldly. Then he chopped off Chongo's head with a knife, and at the moment of his death, his face was still full of astonishment. Ha ha ha, you're dead this time. Uchiha Sasuke laughed frantically again. In his eyes, it was Hyuga-chen who was killed by him, and he had been completely hypnotized by Kyoka Suigetsu. Isn't this guy crazy? Chojuro asked. Probably not, maybe it's the sword of Lord Hyuga-chen. Ching said, looking at the seemingly ordinary Kyoka Shueyu. King Washueyu, completely control the five senses, even if you are played to death, you don't know how to be played to death. Hyuga-chen lightly smiled. To be honest, Kyoka Shueyu is indeed pervert. Even if the Six Paths Fairy is here, there is no way to face the five senses hypnosis of Kyoka Shueyu. Shueyu in the Hokage world, not to mention that Hyuga-chen is the one who uses Kyoka Shueyu, even if it is placed in the world of death, there is no solution. Hyuga-chen has the confidence to use Kyoka Shueyu to make Yuha Bak find Bei. Hyuga-chen's strength is stronger than Aizen, and Kyoka Shueyu is also stronger in Hyuga-chen's hands. Chapter 409 Uchiha Sasuke Broken Arm. Is he crazy? He actually killed his comrade. Hanabi asked, biting his fingers. Insane indeed. Hyuga-chen grinned, then dismissed Kyoka Suzuki. At this time, Sasuke, who was laughing wildly, stopped laughing abruptly, staring at the corpses of Shigego and Gaidong Shueyu in a daze. He kill Hyuga-chen. Why is it now Chongo and Ghost Light Shueyu? How could this be? How could this be? You did it. Is it demonic illusion? Uchiha Sasuke pointed his knife at Hyuga-chen frantically. What about demonic illusion? What about not? Anyway, you killed these two people, don't blame me. Hyuga-chen spread his hands and said. I must kill you. Uchiha Sasuke rushed over with the Kusanagi sword as if he was going crazy. 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Hanabi shouted coquettishly, knocking Sasuke Uchiha out. Although Hanabi is lazy, but so many people teach her, plus Hinata's supervision to her, she has the strength of Jonin at the age of 11. With the strength of Hanabi Jonin, even the uninjured Uchiha Sasuke is not afraid, not to mention the Uchiha Sasuke who is now seriously injured and lost his mind. Sasuke Uchiha was lying on the ground, his chest collapsed and blood was spitting out of his mouth. Why am I still not an opponent after so much effort, why? Uchiha Sasuke roared up to the sky. This time, the blow to Uchiha Sasuke was a bit big. Originally, Uchiha Sasuke thought that he created the Raiden, Thunder-style, Mystery Kirin, so he could not be afraid of anyone. But his proud moves didn't do any harm to Hyuga-chen, even his robe Kakuzu didn't break. Uchiha Sasuke fell into deep suspicion. Is his ninjutsu really that weak? Lord Hyuga-chen, I don't know what to do with Sasuke Uchiha. Ao asked with his head lowered. Ao knew very well in his heart that what this person meant was that of Mizukage-sama, and now he can hand over Uchiha Sasuke to Hyuga-chen. Looking at Uchiha Sasuke, Ao's eyes were a little scared. The Raiden Thunder-style Kirin that Uchiha Sasuke used just now really shocked him. When the force of nature is knocked down, these people will be beaten to coke. Fortunately, it was blocked by Lord Hyuga-chen, otherwise the elite ninjas present in Kurigakure village would likely be killed by Uchiha Sasuke in one move. Now half of the elite ninjas in Kurigakure village are here. If they are really killed in seconds, the loss of Kurigakure village is probably incalculable. Uchiha Sasuke in his heart, and wished to kill him directly. Uchiha Sasuke, do you want me to kill you? Hyuga-chen walked over and said lightly. Sasuke Uchiha raised his head and looked at Hyuga-chen who was in front of him, full of hatred in his heart, especially the condescending look that made him feel angry. You better kill me, or I will kill you. I will, Uchiha Sasuke roared. The team that was formed with great effort and painstakingly disappeared just like that, and he was the only captain left in the entire Snake Squad. Does the Snake Squad still exist? Even now he can't even save his life, the Snake team is about to be completely destroyed. Kill me, who gave you the courage to say such a thing? Hyuga-chen stomped on Uchiha Sasuke's head and stomped him into the ground. Uchiha Sasuke, who was caught off guard, took a bite of the mud. The hatred in his heart stimulated Uchiha Sasuke's mind, and the 3 Tomo Sharingan spun quickly. Hyuga-chen moved his feet away boringly. Uchiha Sasuke with blood on his face raised his head again. The mud and blood on his face were mixed. The only thing that didn't change was the hatred in his eyes. Don't you beg for mercy at this time. Don't you beg me to spare your life to seek revenge for Uchiha Itachi. Are you willing to die like this? Hyuga-chen had a sinister smile on his face. Hearing Hyuga Tatsu's words, Sasuke Uchiha clenched his fists sharply. He hasn't avenged his revenge yet, he can't just die like this, but it's harder than killing him to make him beg for mercy like Hyuga-chen. Brother Chen, what nonsense are you talking to him? Just kill him with one knife. Hanabi picked up a ninja knife from the ground. Little girl, why are you so murderous? Hyuga-chen tapped Hanabi's little head. Damn, I'm not a little girl anymore, Hanabi said with a pouted mouth. She was 11 years old now, and she was treated like a 4 or 5-year-old child. Of course Hanabi was upset. This is also because Hanabi is thin and small, obviously already 11 years old, and still looks the same as 8 or 9 years old, so Hanabi is regarded as a child. What are you, not a little girl? I'm 11 years old now, I've grown up, why are you always treating me like a child? Hanabi pouted, the old man was 0. 11-year-old is also a little girl. Hyuga-chen pinched Hanabi's nose. Uchiha Sasuke was angry and ignored him again. really didn't take him seriously at all. Boy, do you beg for mercy or not? Beg for mercy, I may let you go, and kill you without begging for mercy. Hyuga-chen made a gesture of wiping his neck. Uchiha Sasuke has a gloomy face. What is there to say in this situation? Of course, begging for mercy. He also wants to seek revenge for Uchiha Itachi. Compared with Hyuga-chen, he hates Uchiha Itachi, the genocide murderer, even more. Uchiha Itachi is not dead, how can he dare to die? I beg for mercy, Uchiha Sasuke said dully, burying his head on the ground and sinking his nails into the mud. Quote question mark question mark question mark. Is this the end? Hyuga-chen looked at Sasuke Uchiha, who was still with his head on the ground. Are you saying I'm begging for mercy? This is too simple, too insincere. What else do you want? Uchiha Sasuke roared angrily. This is already his biggest bottom line. How do you want him to beg for mercy for such a proud person? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Sasuke indifferently, a mere prisoner, yet dared to yell. Hyuga-chen took the ninja sword in Hanabi's hand and gestured at Uchiha Sasuke with a cold smile on his face. Believe it or not, one of your arms will fly into the sky when I hit it. Sasuke Uchiha looked at the shining shinobi sword and chose to remain silent for 1.5 minutes. I don't believe it, but it doesn't matter, I'll show it to you. Hyuga-chen slashed with a knife, blood splashed, and Uchiha Sasuke's right arm was cut off. Ah! Uchiha Sasuke let out a scream like a pig. His entire arm was broken, it was too painful. What's more, he didn't say he didn't believe it, he actually cut off his arm, and it was his right arm. How could he take revenge for losing an arm, and with a hand he could beat Uchiha Itachi? He even has a problem with releasing ninjutsu now. Uchiha Sasuke gave Hyuga Tatsu a hateful look, then passed out. I didn't turn on Mangekyo Sharingan, it seems that I don't hate me enough. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Originally, Hyuga-chen thought that Uchiha Sasuke could start Mangekyo Sharingan, but he passed out unsatisfactorily. Chapter 410 War at the Table. How miserable, I feel a little sympathetic to him. Hanabi whispered. Hyuga-chen glanced at Hanabi and said, really? But why didn't I see any sympathy from you? Do I still need to show my sympathy? I sympathize with him in my heart. You are really shallow. Hanabi looked at Hyuga-chen with contempt. You dare to despise me. When I go back and see how I deal with you, it's useless for your sister to plead with you this time. Hyuga-chen stared at her fiercely. Che, who's afraid of you, just a little bit tilde. Not losing the battle, Hanabi decided to take a skin first, and it would not be too late to beg for mercy when he went back and was taught a lesson. Lord Hyuga Tatsu, what to do with Sasuke Uchiha? Out-daringly interrupted Hyuga Tatsu and Hanabi. It's easy, just throw him out. Hyuga-chen said with a wave of his hand. Don't kill him, Ching asked again. Didn't you hear? I said throw him out. Hyuga-chen glanced at Ching with sharp eyes. The sharp eyes made Ao's forehead sweat, and he nodded immediately, and then 08 instructed Kurigakure to throw Uchiha Sasuke out, along with the corpses of Shigego and Onigami Suzuki. Let's go back quickly, otherwise Makoto will get angry. Hyuga-chen picked up Hanabi and returned home instantly. I came back, I saw Makoto's angry eyes and told them to come back sooner. It's only been an hour before they came back, and the dishes she cooked were almost cold. Seeing that Makoto was about to get angry, Hanabi immediately broke free from Hyuga-chen's embrace, and then sneaked aside to look for Hinata. Why are you coming back now? Makoto asked, crossing his hips. Makoto, don't be angry, lady, don't learn the same as Kushina. Hyuga-chen said with a quick smile. Makoto was angry and he had to retreat. Kushina puffed up her cheeks angrily, like a bun face. What's the matter with her? She was shot even if she was lying down. Didn't you say that you should eat first if we don't come back? You can eat first, Hyuga-chen said, holding Makoto in his arms. HMPH, you are the head of the family, don't we dare to eat if you don't come back. Makoto gave him a stern look. It seems that you still know that I am the head of the family. Now that you know that I am the head of the family, you still dare to show me your face. Do you need to clean up? Hurry up and serve me food. This uncle is hungry. The sudden change in Hyuga-chan's tone made Makoto stunned, nodded aggrieved, and went to serve. Alas, Makoto is too cowardly. If it were me, I would definitely be fine. Seeing Hyuga-chan's staring eyes, Tsunade quickly closed his mouth. What will you definitely be fine? Hyuga-chan walked over to Tsunade and sat down, and asked jokingly. Of course I'll take good care of you, Tsunade said flatteringly. Hyuga-chan was very satisfied with Tsunade's flattering words. It's almost the same. I feel a little sore in my shoulders, you give me a squeeze. Tsunade clenched his fists, then forced a smile and put his hand on Hyuga-chan's shoulder. Little girl obeys. It really deserves it. Kushina gave Tsunade a smug look, and when she saw Hyuga-chan's gaze turn to her, she sat upright and quickly put away the schadenfreude smile on her face. Kushina, you wait for me, I remember you. Tsunade glared at Kushina viciously, and then said silently in his heart. Kushina doesn't know yet, she has now been kept in Tsunade's small notebook, and one day Kushina will be unlucky, she laughed at the side. Soon Makoto and the four maids brought the dishes, and today's dishes were plentiful. Well, it seems like every day's dishes are plentiful. There are 4 chefs here, Makoto, Konan, Hinata and Rin, so of course the dishes are very rich. I want to eat Yuhi grilled pork ribs, which is my favorite. As soon as the dish was served, Hanabi pulled Yuhi grilled pork ribs to him. Hanabi, do you know how impolite it is? Hinata taught Hanabi a lesson. Hanabi pouted, then put the Yuhi roasted pork ribs back. Tears of grievance rolled in the corners of his eyes, as if it was pouring rain in an instant. Hinata was embarrassed, as if she had done something wrong. I know how to pretend to cry all the time, I'll give it to you. Hyuga-chan took a piece of pork ribs and handed it to Hanabi's bowl. The teardrops from the corners of Hanabi's eyes disappeared instantly, and with a beautiful smile on his face, he stuck out his tongue at Hinata. Hinata smiled helplessly, and she was also helpless to her sister. Hinata, hurry up and eat it. Otherwise, you'll have to bite the bone after a while. Hyuga-chan took a piece of sashimi and put it in the Hinata bowl. Hinata nodded shyly, then took a small bite, comparing Hinata, and looking at Kushina and Anko, they couldn't bear to look directly at them. Look at what? Kushina gave Hyuga-chan a white look with a chicken leg, and then continued to fight with the food. Anko, how dare you grab my drumstick? Tsunade was furious when he saw the last drumstick being snatched away. It was already regarded by her as something in her pocket, and Anko dared to do it. She didn't know how to write the word, dead. Whoever grabs it first wins. Anko gave Tsunade a smug look, his eyes full of provocation. Anko, I'm your mother-in-law. Give me the chicken legs and I'll spare you. Don't think about it. Then don't blame me for being rude. Tsunade sneered, chopsticks hitting Anko's hand like lightning. Anko felt a pain in his hand, then let go subconsciously. The drumstick in Anko's hand fell off. Tsunade grabbed the drumstick with chopsticks, and then pulled it back. 307. Fight me, you're still too tender. Tsunade smiled smugly. Then Tsunade's smile soon stiffened, and Kushina grabbed the food and grabbed it with his hands. The proud Tsunade never thought that Kushina was so careless. The chicken leg was easily taken away by Kushina, and Kushina took a bite directly. Don't be complacent before you eat it, lest it be too early. Kushina said, shaking her head. There was a smile on Anko's face. She couldn't eat it, but as long as Tsunade didn't eat it. Damn Kushina, Tsunade bit Kiba. Hyuga-chan watched this scene with no surprise, because it wasn't just them who were fighting, and every meal was like fighting a war. This is simply a war on the table. Weak people like Hanabi can't grab any food at all, and can only rely on relief. You have to practice hard in the future, or you will starve to death one day. Hyuga-chan rubbed Hanabi's head and said, "By the way, order food for the 4 of them, Sakura, Ino, Tenten, and Tamari, otherwise the 4 of them will only have rice." "I will definitely work hard to cultivate." Hanabi watched his favorite food being quickly taken away by others, and a fighting spirit suddenly appeared on his face. Just to grab food, she also has to practice hard. She is also ambitious, but she doesn't want to rely on relief all the time. Chapter 411 Obito takes aim at Sasuke. "Ah, I'm so full, I can't eat anymore," Kushina said, patting her stomach. "Kushina, you have to eat these for me." Makoto stared at Kushina tightly. Every time, Kushina grabbed the most, and then she couldn't finish the rest. Makoto couldn't bear it anymore, not only Makoto, but also others. Hee. Kushina scratched her head and smiled, and then silently grabbed the rice, grabbing it herself, even with tears in her eyes. She had to eat it all. "Sister Kushina, why don't I come to help you eat too?" Hanabi leaned over and said. "We don't mind helping Kushina's sister to eat." Sakura, Ino and the others approached. Kushina was overjoyed and hurriedly distributed the high stack of meals to them. She couldn't eat it anymore. "Don't grab so much if you can't eat in the future, or I'll see how I clean you up," Makoto warned Kushina. Kushina nodded quickly. This is the master chef who cooks, and he must not be offended. "I am afraid someone promises well, but their actions and words are inconsistent," Tsunade said softly, looking at Kushina. "Sister Tsunade, I think you're full. Shall we go out and have a fight?" Kushina's eyes were like electricity. "Let's go, I'll teach you a lesson today." Tsunade stood up and walked out, laughing at her revenge, as well as the revenge for robbing her chicken legs. "This time I'll take revenge together." "Not sure who will teach who," Kushina snorted softly, and then walked out. Conan glanced at them helplessly, and then followed up. "If you don't follow up, you can't do it." They fought with great momentum, generally fighting on desert islands, and the aftermath of the battle could cause huge waves. They fight, and Conan is going to help them with the follow-up. "I'll have a look too, before they really go too far." Makoto followed. "My concubine also went with me." My concubine really wanted to see Kushina being beaten. Otsutsuki Kagaya also followed. "But if you want to see Kushina be beaten, you may be disappointed." Tsunade and Kushina's strength is at most 55%, and neither of them can do anything about it. "Aren't you going to take a look?" Terumi May pushed Hyuga-chen. "What are you looking at? I don't know how many times the 2 of them fought. It's the same thing." Hyuga-chen Shanyu was lying on the chair. Terumi May shrugged and threw herself into Hyuga Tatsu's arms. Outside the village of Kurigakure, Sasuke Uchiha, who was thrown outside, finally woke up, looked at the bleeding broken arm, and hurriedly stopped the bleeding, otherwise the bleeding would kill him. Struggling to get up, Sasuke Uchiha looked at the corpses of Suzuki and Shigego next to him, and finally fell silent. One-handed hand seal used the great fireball jutsu to burn their corpses. Uchiha Sasuke will also use one-handed hand seal, but he is not proficient in one-handed hand seal, but without his right arm, he can only use one-handed hand seal in the future. Uchiha Sasuke. Hearing someone calling him, Uchiha Sasuke turned his head sharply, and what he saw was a man in a black-bottomed Yuhi Cloud windbreaker wearing a Uzumaki mask. "Are you a guy who is in the same organization as that man?" Uchiha Sasuke clenched his left hand, and the wound that had been temporarily stopped was bleeding again. "Looking at how embarrassed you are now, how could it be possible to kill Uchiha Itachi? I think you should give up revenge." Uchiha Obito laughed. "Ah, you all die." Uchiha Sasuke's 3 Tomo Sharingan spun rapidly and eventually joined together to become Mangekyo Sharingan. Sharingan actually evolved. Uchiha Obito was surprised, followed by surprise, but he knew how to open the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Sasuke opened Mangekyo Sharingan. If Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan is transplanted, it is eternal Mangekyo. Originally, Uchiha Obito came to fight Uchiha Sasuke's idea, but he didn't expect Uchiha Sasuke to give him a surprise as soon as he came up. My eyes. Uchiha Sasuke reached out and touched his eyes. He could feel the majestic pupil power. With the previous 3 Tomo Sharingan, it is completely different and completely different. Ha ha ha, I also have the supreme eyes of the Uchiha family. I must take revenge. Hyuga-chen, Uchiha Itachi, I must kill you. Uchiha Sasuke is like a lunatic. Let's test Mangekyo's power with this guy first. Uchiha Sasuke looked at Uchiha Obito. Amaterasu. Uchiha Obito sneered, except for those who know space ninjutsu, it is really difficult for the rest to cause harm to him. The temperature of Amaterasu is really high, but it has no effect on Uchiha Obito. How is that possible? Uchiha Sasuke's eyes widened, then his face turned hideous. Susanoo. The first time I used Susanoo, the Susanoo used by Sasuke Uchiha was a bit embarrassing, it only had 1 hand bone. Soon as Susanoo was used, Uchiha Sasuke fainted gloriously. His original state was not good. When he used Amaterasu, he was very reluctant. Now he is forced to use Susanoo, and the consequence is that he fainted. Uchiha Obito looked at the burning black flame, and used the sealing technique to seal the black flame. Obito, what are you doing with Itachi's younger brother? His strength is not comparable to Itachi. Ju emerged from the ground. Uchiha Sasuke is indeed not as powerful as Uchiha Itachi, but he won't be half-hearted like Uchiha Itachi. Do you really think that I don't know what he's doing is secret? Uchiha Obito said coldly. You want him to replace Uchiha Itachi? Black Zetsu asked solemnly. Uchiha Obito gave Black Zetsu a deep look, then nodded. This guy Black Zetsu is Uchiha Madara's will, and Uchiha Madara sent him to monitor him, so Obito still has a slight guard against Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu made no sign of Uchiha Obito's defensive gaze. Uchiha Itachi is going to find Uchiha Sasuke to settle the knot. If I guess correctly, it will be Itachi who will die in the end, and then let Uchiha Sasuke replace him. Why did Itachi die? Obito, do you think this guy is Itachi's opponent? White Zetsu asked. Uchiha Itachi will not kill, I know his character very well. Uchiha Obito said lightly. Let's take him away now. This is near the village of Kurigakure, the land of water, and Hyuga-chen is in the village of Kurigakure. It's not safe here, Black Zetsu said with fear. Hyuga-chen is one of Black Zetsu's most feared people, and the rest is the Six Paths Fairy Otsutsuki Hagoromo who doesn't know where he is. Uchiha Obito nodded. To be honest, he didn't want to stay here any longer. It felt as if a sword was hanging above his head, and he felt very uncomfortable. Now Uchiha Obito just wants to capture Yaoi and Kyuubi, 9 Tails, as soon as possible, and then resurrect 10 Tails, become 10 Tails People Jinchuriki Column Force, and gain the power of the invincible ninja world. Only in this way will he have the courage to fight against Hyuga-chen. Uchiha Madara, which was on his head, if nothing else happened, Uchiha Madara would never have a chance to be resurrected, and he would never let Uchiha Madara come back to life. Chapter 412 Kushina's Tsunade. Kushina, today I'll show you how good I am, and I want to tell you that your sister is always your sister. Tsunade stood in the air with a moon step. There is so much nonsense, eat my lava fist. Kushina doesn't talk nonsense at all, she just hits when she comes up. Tsunade's face turned Yuhi's face, Kushina was just not paying attention and attacked her while she was talking. One turned to dodge the lava fist, and Tsunade landed on the sea. No, it should be on ice now. Now the sea area with a radius of tens of kilometers is completely frozen by Konan, and this place is used as their battleground. Originally, Tsunade and Kushina wanted to find a deserted island to fight, but Konan stopped them. If they went to a deserted island to fight, the country of water would have one less deserted island. Come on Tsunade, blast Kushina. Otsutsuki Kagaya shouted. Kushina's silver kiba bites, and now there is Tsunade as an enemy. It is not appropriate to make another enemy, for now, bear with it. Shattering fist. Tsunade punched in the past. The powerful power of the shaking fruit was released, the ice surface was shattered, and the originally calm sea was instantly turbulent, setting off a huge wave of 100 meters. Conan was helpless, and his hands released extremely cold freezing air, which instantly froze the 100-meter wave. Two of them were fighting, and it was not easy for Conan 900 to stand by and watch the battle. Especially when Tsunade used the quake fruit, which could set off a tsunami with one punch and one kick. Conan had a headache when he saw it. It's better to let them go and fight in my heaven's royal space. Otsutsuki Kagaya said. Tomo Rinnegan Sharingan on her forehead, she can still use the heavenly imperial palace. Why don't you go and let them stop the fight first, and then go to the heavenly imperial space to fight, so I don't have to work so hard, Conan said. Makoto shook his head, looked at the two in good spirits, and said, do you think they can stop fighting now? Conan was speechless. It must be impossible at this time. It seems that she can only work hard. I'll help you too. Otsutsuki Kagaya used Hyoten, ice style, to freeze the waves dozens of meters high. Unlike Conan's frozen fruit, Otsutsuki Kagaya uses Hyoten, ice style, ninjutsu. Makoto turned on the Rinnegan and used repulsion to break up the waves. Tsunade and Kushina don't care about this. The two of them are still fighting fiercely. Kushina's magma bursts out, and countless ice melts. And Tsunade's shot was much more violent. No matter what it was shattered by Tsunade's fist. Kushina, hurry up and admit defeat. I admit defeat. Kushina, won't admit defeat. Kushina and Tsunade punched each other, and neither side could do anything to the other. Kushina is elemental, and general attacks are ineffective against Kushina, while Tsunade has a shocking fruit, a violent one, and neither of them can do anything to each other. Sage Mode. Tsunade turned on Sage Mode. White patterns appeared on his face, which were not obvious on Tsunade's white jade-like cheeks, and he wore a white robe. You think you only have Sage Mode. Sage Mode is on. Kushina also uses Sage Mode. Kushina has an extra set of red yuhi-colored robes on her body, and red yuhi-colored patterns appear on her face, looking a little heroic. Kushina creates a Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, then turns the Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, into a short stick and attacks Tsunade. Tsunade is no less inferior, using Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, to turn into an axe and slash at Kushina, just so violent. However, the two of them fought fiercely, and Makoto, Conan, and Kagaya, who were watching the battle next to them, felt bored. Because of Tsunade and Kushina's fight, they have seen it several times, and it's just those sets back and forth. Hopefully they end the fight sooner, Conan said, sitting on the ice. Makoto gave a wry smile and ended the battle early. How could this be possible? Two of them didn't give up until they didn't fight for a few days. With Tsunade and Kushina's strength, they wouldn't feel tired even after a month of fighting. Especially after using Sage Mode, I will only get more and more energetic, and I will not feel tired at all. Won't hit for a few months. Otsutsuki Kagaya said. Probably not, otherwise Chen will definitely clean up the two of them. I guess it will only be a few hours. Sarah jumped to the ice. Why are you here, Sarah? Conan asked. Why don't I come here to see that guy Chen and Terumi make kissing me at home? Sarah said with a jealous grin. Makoto snickered while covering his mouth. Sarah, are you jealous? Che, if it were you, you would be jealous too. Sarah said with a blank look at Makoto. With so much momentum, if there is a war in the country of water, it is estimated that the country of water will be destroyed by them. Tsunade and Kushina could not be seen exactly in the whole sea area, only two rays of light collided. Every collision can cause a tsunami, and the space here has become a little unstable because of their engagement. The thundering sound on the sea can be transmitted to the country of water, and the citizens of the country of water have calmed down after the initial panic. This kind of thing is not once or twice, and it is not surprising that it is more surprising. After a few hours, Tsunade and Kushina quit in perfect harmony. Kushina, your strength is good, Tsunade, admit you. HMPH, I need your admission. Kushina snorted. What did you say, do you want to fight again? Tsunade growled irritably. Just fight, am I still afraid of you? Kushina said, not to be outdone. Two of them have to fight again, but Makoto and the others are definitely not going to let them continue to fight. They are not tired of fighting, Makoto and the others are tired of watching. Let's do it. How about I find a battlefield for you, and promise that you will win or lose? Sarah gave a wicked smile and approached Tsunade and Kushina. Sarah's malicious smile made Tsunade and Kushina vigilant, and the smile was not good at first sight. Are they two fools? What battlefield? Say it and listen. Kushina leaned against Tsunade and rubbed against Tsunade. No wonder that bad guy likes to lie in the arms of this fierce girl, it is really soft and comfortable. Get up and open for me. Tsunade pushed Kushina in disgust, but Kushina didn't move while lying on top of her. How about going to the couch? Sarah said with a wicked smile. Let that bad guy Chen test which of you is stronger in combat. Sarah, you're going to die. Believe it or not, I'll bite you to death. Kushina immediately got up from Tsunade and grabbed Sarah and tickled her. Tsunade looked at it and came to help. Hurry up and let me go. I'm just joking, I'm just kidding, it's so ticklish. Sarah was most afraid of tickling, and under the tickling attack of Kushina and Tsunade, she quickly laughed down. If you dare to talk nonsense, what if you don't punish you well, just die. Kushina shouted loudly. Chapter 413 Obito flickering Sasuke. Where's Chen? Where did that guy Chen go? After Kushina and the others returned, they found that Hyuga Chen was gone, along with Terumi Mei. Where have Terumi Mei and Chen gone? Shouldn't they go somewhere to play? When they come back, make sure they both look good. Suna bit Silver Kiba with her hand. Shouldn't these two just leave them behind and go to the two-person world? Not thinking about it. It's not possible. Hinata, Samui, do you know what Tatsu and Terumi Mei are doing? Makoto asked. Hinata and Samui shook their heads and said they didn't know. They did not see when Chen and Terumi Mei left. I would have stayed at home and watched the two of them, Sarah said with a sullen face. You seem to be looking for me. Is there something wrong? Hyuga Chen and Terumi Mei suddenly appeared behind the girls. Yeah, I was shocked. You are going to die. Kushina said angrily. Scared you? Then why didn't I see you jump? You jump and show me. Hyuga Chen raised his eyebrows and said. Ignore you bastard. Kushina pulled Terumi Mei aside and asked, tell me, what did you guys just do? Did you steal the shit behind our backs? Fuck you, do I still have to carry you behind my back if I want to steal? No, do I still need to steal? Terumi Mei turned to Byakugan and said. Then what are you doing? Is there anything else you can't say? Kushina decided to break the casserole and asked to the end. It's annoying, we went to Shueheim and Lolora's to play. Terumi Mei said angrily. Hearing that the two of them just went to find Shueheim and Lulu Lassie, Kushina just let Terumi Mei go. Sasuke Uchiha opened his eyes and saw the dark cave sitting up suddenly, looking around vigilantly. Boy, you're awake, it looks like you're quite resilient. As expected of Uchiha Itachi's younger brother, Uchiha Obito came over. As soon as he heard Uchiha Itachi's name, Uchiha Sasuke's anger surged like a volcano, his right fist clenched, and he punched Uchiha Obito's face. Fist went through Uchiha Obito's body, but it didn't matter, it was his right hand that mattered. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fist, a little in disbelief. Isn't his right arm gone? And the white arm is not his at all. Of course the arm wasn't his, it was made from white Zetsu's cells. White Zetsu is cultivated with the cells of the first generation of Hokage, so in theory, the cells of white Zetsu can be regarded as the cells of the first generation of Hokage, but they are not as aggressive as before. You should be happy with your new arm, right? This is my gift to you. Why didn't you kill me? Uchiha Sasuke stared at Obito, who didn't believe there was a free lunch in this world. Example, Orochimaru, he taught himself to get his body as a reincarnation vessel, and he also took refuge in Orochimaru to increase his strength. After realizing that Orochimaru could no longer strengthen him, he immediately went to the door and killed Orochimaru without hesitation. I don't kill you, of course you are useful to me. You want to use me. Uchiha Sasuke's face immediately turned cold. I have a conflict with Uchiha Itachi, and you just want to kill Uchiha Itachi. As the saying goes, the enemy of the enemy is a friend, aren't we friends now? Obito reached out and patted Sasuke Uchiha on the shoulder. Friends? I don't have friends, I only have enemies in my life. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes were red, Yuhi, and Mangekyo Sharingan turned on. Uchiha Obito looked at Uchiha Sasuke, thinking in his mind how to fool him. This guy is really not good at fooling. Go away. For the sake of my arm, I will spare your life. Sasuke Uchiha sat on the ground and said proudly. Uchiha Obito is stunned. I saved you and counted as your benefactor, right? You just talk to your benefactor like this. Also, where did you have the courage to tell me to spare my life? Uchiha Obito can understand, this guy is a Byakugan wolf. Obito would have wanted to slap him to death if he hadn't felt that Sasuke Uchiha was still useful, the tone was so unpleasant. Uchiha Obito pressed his anger into his heart and said, do you think you can get revenge on you alone? I can kill Uchiha Itachi myself. Uchiha Sasuke stood up abruptly, his eyes devoured him. Uchiha Obito shook his head disdainfully, this guy was too impulsive, not even half of his brothers. Obito would simply ignore him if he didn't value the strength of the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. In fact, if possible, Uchiha Obito would prefer to let Uchiha Itachi have the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but Uchiha Itachi is not easy to control. Compared with Uchiha Sasuke, it is easier to control. Even if you kill Uchiha Itachi, don't you want to take revenge on Hyuga-chen? Do you think you are Hyuga-chen's opponent? Hyuga-chen is dozens of times stronger than Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Sasuke frowned. Hyuga-chen is really stronger than Uchiha Itachi. And so much stronger. Hyuga-chen, I will kill him too, I don't need you to be an outsider to manage my affairs. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. At this point Uchiha Obito wanted to smash his head off to see what was in his head. You alone will never be able to kill Hyuga-chen. Only by cooperating with me can you take revenge. Don't think I don't know, you're just using me. Uchiha Sasuke is not entirely a fool, the masked man knew at a glance that he was plotting evil. We are cooperating, or we are using each other, or you are afraid of me and dare not cooperate with me. Uchiha Obito uses the aggressive method. According to the information collected by Uchiha Obito, the Jigong method should be very useful to Uchiha Sasuke. Because Uchiha Sasuke is an arrogant person, arrogant and does not put others in the eye. Uchiha Obito can't take him down if he doesn't believe in the trick. In fact, the method of provocation was very useful to Uchiha Sasuke. When Uchiha Obito said that he did not dare to cooperate with him, Uchiha Sasuke was immediately angry. There is nothing in this world that I, Uchiha Sasuke, dare not do. I agree to cooperate with you, but you also have to show your strength. I will not cooperate with trash. Uchiha Sasuke looked at Obito with deep contempt in his eyes. Do you think this is enough? Uchiha Obito's eyes turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo Sharingan, are you a member of the Uchiha family, or the transplanted Sharingan of my Uchiha family? Uchiha Sasuke asked immediately. Uchiha Sasuke didn't just see Uchiha Obito's Sharingan just now, but Uchiha Sasuke always thought it was a transplant. But the masked man actually has Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Sasuke doesn't believe that a foreigner can turn on Mangekyo Sharingan, so this guy is most likely a member of their Uchiha family. Thinking of this, Uchiha Sasuke was excited, but he didn't expect that there were other Uchiha tribesmen in the ninja world. Of course, if Uchiha Sasuke knew that Uchiha Obito was also involved in the genocide event, he would probably be even more excited and wanted to destroy Uchiha Obito. Chapter 414 Obito Flickering Sasuke. Fortunately, Uchiha Sasuke does not know that the genocide is also related to Uchiha Obito, otherwise Uchiha Sasuke has become a corpse now. Sasuke Uchiha, who knows the truth, can't use it, and those who have no use value are naturally better off dead. Does it matter if I belong to the Uchiha family? Obito asked indifferently. Is it important? Of course it was important, at least for Uchiha Sasuke. If you are not from the Uchiha family, I will definitely kill you in the future, and then take back the Sharingan that belongs to our Uchiha family. Uchiha Sasuke said firmly. In Uchiha Sasuke's view, Sharingan is something of their Uchiha family, and foreigners don't deserve it at all. I'm from the Uchiha family, my name is Uchiha Madara, you should have heard of it, right? Obito's voice was low, revealing a faint air of pretense. Uchiha Sasuke looked at this pretentious aura and felt very dazzling. Someone was actually pretending to be in front of him, a little expert in pretense. Uchiha Sasuke was not happy. If it weren't for his injury, he would definitely have to put it back. Uchiha Madara. Who is Uchiha Madara? Uchiha Sasuke was full of questions. Is Uchiha Madara famous? Uchiha Obito almost fell down. It would be understandable if the foreigners didn't know who Uchiha Madara was, but as a member of the Uchiha family, even Uchiha Madara didn't know. Are you really a member of the Uchiha family? But think about when Uchiha Sasuke was 6 years old, the Uchiha family was wiped out, it's normal to not know. Uchiha Obito also doesn't want to explain Uchiha Madara's deeds to Uchiha Sasuke. Anyway, it doesn't matter whether he uses the name Uchiha Madara or not. Neither Uzumaki Nagato nor Uchiha Itachi knew that he was not Uchiha Madara. This is not important, the important thing is that you know that I am also a member of the Uchiha family. Uchiha Obito said lightly. Uchiha Sasuke didn't ask any more questions, and he had a little more affection for Uchiha Obito in his heart. Uchiha Sasuke always thought that the Uchiha family was the only one left with him and the traitor, but he did not expect that there were other Uchiha people. Are there any other Uchiha people besides you? Uchiha Sasuke asked. Yes, there are two around Hyuga-chan, Uchiha Makoto and Uchiha Izumi, both of them are members of the Uchiha family. Obito nodded and replied. It's useless to say this now, don't you want revenge? Uchiha Itachi is in a bad state now, it's a great opportunity. Is he not in good shape? Uchiha Sasuke raised his head and looked straight at Uchiha Obito. That's right, this is your best chance, don't wait for him to recover, it will be difficult for you to be his opponent. Uchiha Obito nodded and said. Uchiha Itachi was ill and he was absolutely told. Of course, Uchiha Obito didn't know that Uchiha Itachi was terminally ill and didn't have much time to live. No, I'm going to kill him with my own hands when he wins. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fists tightly, he didn't want to take advantage of others. Did you know that Uchiha Itachi is looking for you now? Looking for me, what is that bastard looking for? Uchiha Sasuke frowned. Because of your eyes, Mangekyo Sharingan is not the limit of Sharingan's evolution, and now his eyes are almost blind, and it has reached the point where he needs to change his eyes. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his hands and said angrily, he wants my eyes. That's right, do you know why Uchiha Itachi didn't kill you in the first place? Uchiha Obito sneered inwardly, Uchiha Sasuke couldn't escape his control. Why? Uchiha Sasuke asked hastily, which was strange to him at first. Why did Uchiha Itachi wipe out the entire clan, but only kept him? Was it really because he didn't want to kill him? The Uchiha family is a cursed family. Mangekyo Sharingan can evolve again, but the conditions are very harsh. Uchiha Sasuke frowned, didn't he say why Uchiha Itachi didn't kill him? Is it off topic now? However, I am also very interested in Mangekyo Sharingan's ability to evolve Uchiha Sasuke, so I have the patience to listen." Seeing Uchiha Obito's silence for a long time, Uchiha Sasuke asked impatiently, "What conditions does Mangekyo Sharingan need to evolve?" Uchiha Obito was very satisfied, so he waited for Sasuke Uchiha to ask. If he didn't ask himself and said everything, it would be a shame. "If you want Mangekyo Sharingan to evolve, you must transplant your brother's Mangekyo Sharingan, so that Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power will be greatly enhanced, and he will never go blind, that is, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan 0. Uchiha Itachi doesn't kill you, just for your eyes." "I see, no wonder he didn't kill me." Uchiha Sasuke punched the rock wall angrily, ignoring the blood flowing from his hands. His eyes were extremely red. "Want my Mangekyo Sharingan? Then try it. Tell me where Uchiha Itachi is now." Uchiha Sasuke asked excitedly, grabbing Uchiha Obito. Uchiha Obito was overjoyed, and the fish was completely hooked. As long as Sasuke Uchiha gets the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, let him hold Hyuga-chen, and he takes the opportunity to complete the Moon Eye plan. That's what Uchiha Obito intends. But Uchiha Obito is also naive, thinking that a mere pair of eternal Mangekyo Sharingan can hold Hyuga-chen. Besides, Hyuga-chen never thought of sabotaging the Moon Eye plan. Can only be said that Uchiha Obito thinks too much, and Uchiha Obito may subconsciously forget that Uchiha Izumi has Rinnegan. What is the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan to resist? Don't get excited, I'll tell you Uchiha Itachi's address, no problem. He will take you to find Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Obito turned to reveal White Zetsu behind him. Take me. Uchiha Sasuke put his hand on the Kusanagi sword. If White Zetsu dares to say no, Sasuke Uchiha promises to cut a hole in White Zetsu. Sasuke 2.2, with your current situation, I advise you to cultivate for a while and then go, or you will be an eye to Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Obito put his hand on his shoulder. Finally managed to fool Uchiha Sasuke. He couldn't let Uchiha Sasuke die. Although Uchiha Obito estimated that Uchiha Itachi would not kill Sasuke, he didn't want to bet on it. Sasuke Uchiha thought about his current situation, then nodded. It is indeed not suitable to go now. So Uchiha Sasuke cultivated in this cave. Uchiha Obito has left, and there are still things he needs to deal with. Has been found, but has been captured by Kumogakure village, and he has to find a way to grab Yao from Kumogakure village. Now the Kumogakure village has taken precautions, it is a bit difficult to handle. Moreover, the strength of Kumogakure village is not weak. Uchiha Obito also felt a headache. Chapter 415 Akatsuki High Profile. Half a month has passed, and in this half month, Akatsuki has all been dispatched, and finally caught Yao. Led by Nagato, Akatsuki's men broke directly into the village of Kumogakure, and most of the entire village of Kumogakure was destroyed. Nagato, Uchiha Itachi, Kisame Hoshigaki, Kakuzu, Nawaki, Uchiha Obito 6 minimum cage level ninjas broke into the Kumogakure village. The picture is a bit beautiful. The fourth generation of Raikage is still in a coma. If they hadn't retreated after getting the 8 tails, the village of Kumogakure would have been trampled down. Akatsuki's attack this time has completely attracted attention. With such a powerful strength, it is difficult not to attract attention. Nagato, you are a little reckless this time. Uchiha Obito's tone was a little bad. This time Nagato made the decision. Uchiha Obito immediately rushed to stop him after he knew it, but it was too late when he arrived. Nagato and the others had already fought against Kumogakure. Uchiha Obito had no choice but to go all the way to the dark, and joined in as well. Although in 09 they almost leveled the Kumogakure village and looked majestic, but that wasn't the case at all. Nagato's move completely pushed Akatsuki to the forefront. It's been too long, and it's useless to linger like this. Besides, we Akatsuki are already on the cusp of the storm, and we don't mind a little more high profile. Nagato said lightly. Things have already happened, and Uchiha Obito can't help it, and he can't turn back time. Now the time is ripe, the 8 tails are sealed, and now only Kyuubi, Nine Tails, is left, and I will personally take action to capture Kyuubi, Nine Tails. Nagato can't wait to complete the plan and achieve peace completely. This is what he promised Yahiko, and he must do it. Alas, now we can only catch Kyuubi, Nine Tails, as soon as possible. Uchiha Obito sighed. Because of Nagato's action, there was not much time left for them. If Kyuubi, Nine Tails, is not captured, they will be besieged by the Five Kingdoms. Uchiha Obito is not yet ready to face off against the Five Powers. By the way, Itachi, your brother Uchiha Sasuke seems to be looking for you. Now do you want to settle personal affairs first? Uchiha Obito looked at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi's eyes flickered, and he took a deep look at Uchiha Obito, looking at Uchiha Obito's appearance, as if he had a connection with his younger brother. I'll go find him, Uchiha Itachi said lightly, already vigilant in his heart. Then I can tell you the current location of Uchiha Sasuke. He is currently recovering from injuries on a deserted island in the Land of Water. Uchiha Obito said with a smile. After he finished speaking, Uchiha Obito stared at Uchiha Itachi closely. He wanted to see what would happen to Uchiha Itachi's face. To Uchiha Obito's disappointment, there was no change in Uchiha Itachi's face, but his heart was already fluctuating violently. Uchiha Itachi is the kind of person who doesn't show psychological fluctuations on his face. No matter how his heart fluctuates, his face still has no expression. Sasuke is injured, and he is still in the country of water, and Hyuga-chen seems to be in the country of water. Uchiha Itachi's heart became tense. He has decided to go to the Land of Water now. Pain, if it's all right, I'll leave first. I'm going to see that unsatisfactory brother and reunite him with the clan by the way. Uchiha Itachi walked away. Hee, it looks like I can't sit still anymore. Uchiha Obito smiled, even though he didn't show it on his face, he showed it in his actions. It seems that Uchiha Itachi really cares about Uchiha Sasuke. Boss, do you want me to follow? Kisame Hoshigaki asked. No, you stay. Uchiha Sasuke, I believe he can solve it alone. You stay to discuss the matter of attacking Konoha. Nagato said. Attack on Konoha. Naoki's eyes flickered. The others didn't care, but that old thief Danzo must die. This time Naoki must kill Danzo and let him die under his own Mokuton wood style. I'll follow. Uchiha Obito followed, and he wanted to see the battle between the two brothers. Nagato closed his eyes for a long time without saying a word. After a long time, Nagato said, take a rest, attack Konoha in 3 days, and this time we must catch Kyuubi, Nine Tails. Naoki, I hope you won't be soft-hearted. Nagato looked at Naoki emphatically. Naoki is Konoha's missing nin, and is also the grandson of the original Hokage, and Nagato is afraid that he will eventually betray them for Konoha's sake. Don't worry, I won't, Naoki said before turning to leave. On a deserted island in the Land of Water, Sasuke Uchiha sat on the beach to refine chakra. All his injuries were healed. Now Uchiha Sasuke is all ready, just waiting for Uchiha Itachi to come and fight him. Sasuke, now Uchiha Itachi is rushing here. White Zetsu came out and said. Very well, I'll wait for him here. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly, pulling out his Kusanagi sword and wiping it, the sun shining on the blade, reflecting a dazzling light. I don't know if there is something wrong with Ao's head. Hyuga-chen asked him to throw Uchiha Sasuke out, and Ao also threw out Uchiha Sasuke's Kusanagi sword. Could it be that you don't like the artifact Kusanagi sword? In fact, this artifact is just for fun. The Kusanagi sword of Uchiha Sasuke is also sharp and has no special effect. How many more days will he be here? Uchiha Sasuke asked suddenly. According to my estimate, it will take 2 days. White Zetsu said after calculation. This is still Uchiha Itachi's speed is 660 faster. Otherwise, it will not be able to arrive here from the Land of Rain in a week. Why so slow? Uchiha Sasuke frowned in dissatisfaction. It's also good for you. Sasuke, at least you have 2 days to rest, and when Uchiha Itachi arrives, he will be caught off guard. White Zetsu said. Uchiha Sasuke's face turned cold, and the Kusanagi sword in his hand stabbed into White Zetsu's body. I don't need to take advantage, Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. Poor White Zetsu was stabbed to death by Uchiha Sasuke, but this is White Zetsu's clone, not White Zetsu's body. Trash. Sasuke Uchiha didn't even look at White Zetsu's body. He didn't know how many White Zetsu he had killed during this time. Uchiha Obito stood in the distance watching Uchiha Sasuke. He came after Uchiha Itachi set off, but Space Ninjutsu, hurry up. Don't be sneaky, or I won't be polite next time. Uchiha Sasuke turned his head sharply. Sasuke, you actually found me. It seems that you have made a lot of progress. Uchiha Obito said with a smile. Obito has also taught Uchiha Sasuke a few days. Obito has received the true biography of Uchiha Madara, so it is no problem to teach Uchiha Sasuke. Especially in the use of Sharingan, it helped Uchiha Sasuke a lot and made his strength to a higher level. Chapter 416 Itachi vs Sasuke Brothers Battle. 2 days passed quickly, and Uchiha Itachi set foot on this uninhabited island according to the information given by Uchiha Obito. Sasuke is really here. Uchiha Itachi frowned deeply when he looked at the island, which was almost all weeds and not even a few trees. You're finally here, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Uchiha Sasuke's voice came from behind Uchiha Itachi. I didn't expect my stupid younger brother to have such a clever way of hiding. Uchiha Itachi turned around expressionlessly. Uchiha Sasuke didn't speak. His hidden methods were actually learned from Orochimaru. Snakes pay attention to hiding and delivering a fatal blow. Orochimaru's hidden methods are also ranked in the ninja world. I'm no longer the weaker I used to be. This time I'll ask you to repent to the clansmen in person. Uchiha Sasuke slowly drew out his Kusanagi sword. I heard you were injured. Uchiha Itachi asked. Then Uchiha Itachi saw Uchiha Sasuke's right hand, and his pale right hand was completely different from his left. Your hand. Uchiha Itachi's problem has touched his sore spot, and even if he has a new arm transplanted now, it will not ease the pain of losing his arm at the beginning. Kaden, fire style, fierce dragon flame jutsu. Suiten, water style, water formation wall. Uchiha Sasuke's attack is easily blocked by Uchiha Itachi using Suiten, water style. After so many years, you still haven't made much progress, and you are still so weak in front of me. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. That indifferent tone, in Uchiha Sasuke's ears, was a kind of disdain, a kind of contempt. This reminded Uchiha Sasuke of being madly abused by Uchiha Itachi when he was a child. Uchiha Sasuke was stimulated, and the 3-Tomo Sharingan, which was originally open, quickly rotated and turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. To be honest, Uchiha Itachi was really surprised when he saw Uchiha Sasuke Mangekyo Sharingan, but he understood the difficulty of opening Mangekyo Sharingan. I didn't expect Sasuke to be able to turn on Mangekyo Sharingan. I opened the same eyes as mine. It seems that you have experienced a lot. Uchiha Itachi hid the complexities in his eyes and said calmly. It's all because of you, because I want to kill you all the time. I'm not getting stronger all the time. Uchiha Sasuke yelled. Don't think that with the same eyes as me, it is my opponent. Uchiha Itachi said indifferently. Then let the strength do the talking. Uchiha Sasuke appeared behind Uchiha Itachi in an instant, and then slashed with all his might. Blade slashed towards Uchiha Itachi's neck, showing no mercy at all. Perhaps when he was young, Uchiha Sasuke's favorite was his brother Uchiha Itachi, but after the genocide, Uchiha Sasuke wanted him to die every day. This may be how deep the love is and how deep the hate is. The Kusanagi sword cut off Uchiha Itachi's neck without hindrance, and Uchiha Itachi didn't even move. Uchiha Sasuke was not at all happy when he saw this scene, but became vigilant. If Uchiha Itachi was so easy to kill, he wouldn't have to suffer so much and suffer so much. Sure enough, Uchiha Itachi, whose neck was cut off by Uchiha Sasuke, turned into a crow and flew away, and the real Uchiha Itachi appeared behind Uchiha Sasuke. Amaterasu. Uchiha Itachi used the Amaterasu black flame mercilessly, a line of blood flowed from his eyes, and his vision became more blurred. Amaterasu black flames burned on Uchiha Sasuke, but Uchiha Sasuke did not panic. Uchiha has learned a lot from Orochimaru, one of which is Orochimaru style avatars. Orochimaru style avatars can be released in an instant without using a hand seal. They use the external body as a surrogate and transfer their own avatars from their mouths. This avatar technique can be said to be the most powerful avatar technique, just like the molting of a snake, but it is also more uncomfortable to use. And except for Orochimaru, other people use this substitute technique to consume a lot of chakra. It seems that you have learned a lot from Orochimaru, Uchiha Itachi said indifferently. In fact, Uchiha Itachi is already ready to help Sasuke seal off Amaterasu black flame. Unexpectedly, Sasuke solved it by himself, and Uchiha Itachi was very pleased. Why did you exterminate the clan in the first place? I want to listen to the truth. Uchiha Sasuke gasped, then stared at Uchiha Itachi. Orochimaru-style avatars are very expensive, and he wants to take the opportunity to restore chakra. This doesn't make much sense. Uchiha Itachi didn't lift his eyelids. A few shuriken appeared in his hand, and then flew out instantly. Several shuriken collided in the air, then headed straight for Sasuke Uchiha's vital spot. Sasuke Uchiha pouted in disdain, and the mere shuriken also wanted to hurt him. Kusanagi swung the sword, and almost all the shuriken were blocked. Only one did little damage to him, slicing a small slit in his neck. But it was this small bite that scared Sasuke Uchiha, and if the wound were deeper, it would have severed his windpipe. Uchiha Sasuke was almost killed by a shuriken, and Uchiha Itachi's shuriken throwing was indeed very powerful. Sasuke, you are so disappointing, you are so weak that you are not qualified to live in this world, Tsukuyomi. Space conversion. Uchiha Itachi pulled Uchiha Sasuke into the demonic illusion space. Uchiha Sasuke was tied to the cross and unable to move. Are you very familiar with this place? Ah, I'm going to kill you. Uchiha Sasuke was furious. Once Uchiha Itachi used Tsukuyomi to let him see how Uchiha Itachi exterminates the clan. Because of the rage, Uchiha Sasuke's spirit fluctuated, the entire demonic illusion space shook, and even cracks appeared. In fact, Uchiha Itachi can stabilize the demonic illusion space at this time, but Uchiha Itachi did not do that, but let Uchiha Sasuke attack Tsukuyomi's demonic illusion space. Uchiha Itachi never thought of killing Sasuke, otherwise, with Tsukuyomi's pupil technique, Uchiha Sasuke would lose his combat effectiveness. Uchiha Sasuke Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil power exploded, Tsukuyomi's demonic illusion space was completely shattered. Demonic illusion was defeated by Uchiha Itachi, and a line of blood flowed from his left eye, and Uchiha Sasuke, who broke demonic illusion on the other side, was also very uncomfortable. Both eyes were bloodshot, and the blood slowly flowed out. Uchiha Sasuke couldn't help reaching out to cover his eyes. Although the demonic illusion of Tsukuyomi was broken, the spirit of Uchiha Sasuke was also damaged. This is because Uchiha Itachi released water, otherwise Uchiha Sasuke would not be able to break through Tsukuyomi's demonic illusion space. I didn't expect you to be a little capable. Uchiha Itachi wiped the blood from his left eye. Uchiha Sasuke shook his head and didn't speak. Now he seems to have been hit by a sledgehammer in his head, and now his head is dazed. Chapter 417 Fees for renting a venue. Sure enough, Uchiha Itachi is still showing mercy. Uchiha Obito said silently. Now Uchiha Sasuke is drowsy and has no resistance at all. If Uchiha Itachi really wants to kill Uchiha Sasuke, he can kill Uchiha Sasuke now. It doesn't matter how merciless Uchiha Itachi's men are. What is important is who allowed you to fight in the land of water. Could it be that you don't know that this is my wife's territory? Hyuga-chen patted Uchiha Obito and said coldly. Uchiha Obito shuddered, turned around quickly, and looked at Hyuga-chen with a dull expression. Why are you here? Uchiha Obito looked at Hyuga-chen like a ghost. Why am I here? Your question is very unprofessional. This is the land of water. Where am I going if I'm not here? Uchiha Obito vomited blood. I also know this is the land of water, but this is the most remote desert island. Isn't my question wrong? It doesn't matter why I am here. You illegally leased the island of the land of water to a private duel. Think about what to do now. Hyuga-chen squeezed Uchiha Obito's arm slightly, and with a click, Uchiha Obito's bone was broken. Uchiha Obito is sweating coldly on his forehead. Does he still have to report to you in a duel, and wait until you approve 120? Of course, now is not the time to complain. It is better to think about how to get through this disaster first. What do you want to do? Uchiha Obito asked hard. His bones were about to be crushed. It really hurt. Do you still need me to teach you? Of course, it's the cost of renting the venue, so hurry up and get the money. Hyuga-chen let go of Uchiha Obito. Uchiha Obito breathed a sigh of relief. If he just asked for money, it would be easy. He was afraid of his life. Is it so easy to let him go? I think it's better to break his leg. Hanabi glanced at Uchiha Obito, then took out a stick from behind. Don't be so violent, Hanabi, we value peace. Hyuga-chen pressed Hanabi, who was about to break Uchiha Obito's leg. What else are you looking at? Hurry up and get the money. Uchiha Obito took out the money on his body in frustration, but there was not much, only a few 100,000 taels. Just this amount of money. You rented an island, and you only have this amount of money. Hyuga-chen threw the money to Hanabi in annoyance, and Hanabi immediately counted the money. That's all I have, Uchiha Obito said sullenly. Forget it, this time it's cheap for you guys. Hyuga-chen squatted down and counted the money with Hanabi. Both of them were money fans. I don't know how much candy I can buy with this little money, Hanabi said excitedly. Hinata didn't say that you won't be allowed to eat candy, and how much candy you can buy with this money has nothing to do with you. The money is not yours. Hyuga-chen put away all the money. Hanabi pouted unhappily. Damn it, ignore you, unless you buy candy to coax me. Hyuga-chen looked at the fight between the two Uchiha brothers in the distance, and honestly the two of them were fighting like a joke. Uchiha Itachi obviously had many chances to kill Uchiha Sasuke, but he just didn't do it. If he can report it, Hyuga-chen will definitely report Uchiha Itachi for the fake match. What do you think of the Moon Eye project? Uchiha Obito asked tentatively. He wanted to test Hyuga-chen's purpose. He always needed purpose in doing things. He promised Uchiha Madara to execute the Moon Eye plan in order to create the world he hoped in his heart. So what is the purpose of Hyuga-chen and Uchiha Madara's cooperation? This Uchiha Obito didn't know anything about it. He also asked Ju, and Ju also didn't know Hyuga-chan's purpose. The Eye of the Moon project. In my eyes, it's just a game. I look forward to your performance. I hope you won't disappoint me, Obito. Hyuga-chen gave Uchiha Obito a light look. Uchiha Obito frowned, feeling that Hyuga-chen's words seemed to have other meanings. Does he know that I don't want to resurrect Uchiha Madara? Not far away, Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke opened Susanoo. Because of Uchiha Obito's teaching, now Uchiha Sasuke can use the third form of Susanoo. Uchiha Itachi's Susanoo lost the Ten-Fist Sword and Yata Mirror. Although he was still able to suppress Sasuke, it was not so easy. Looking at Susanoo's explosive destructive power, Uchiha Obito couldn't help but back up a distance. Although it is not a complete Susanoo, Susanoo is known as the god of destruction, and its destructive power is still unparalleled. I must kill you, avenge my parents, and avenge my clan. Uchiha Sasuke growled. However, a loud voice does not mean that he is awesome. Although Sasuke Uchiha shouted loudly, he still couldn't change his fate of being hanged and beaten. When Susanoo is turned on, the chakra and pupil power of the two of them are consumed like running water, which is a bit scary. But it was a fierce battle for a while, and the two of them couldn't hold on any longer, so they could only relieve Susanoo. Tisk tisk, the durability is not good. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said. I think the fight was very exciting. Hanabi's eyes were fixed on the front, and he wanted to jump up and cheer. Hanabi, you said that if Hinata knew you didn't practice cultivation and ran out with me, would you say that Hinata would teach you a lesson? Humph. My sister won't teach me a lesson, she treats me well. Hanabi Tsunere said. Let's go. Don't look, come back with me. No, it's a good fight. Let's go back after they finish fighting. Hanabi grabbed Hyuga-chan's arm and shook it. Finally Hyuga Tatsu nodded. You must cultivate well after you go back, or I won't take you out. I know, Hanabi said perfunctorily, and at first glance it was a verbal agreement. On Hyuga-chan's understanding of Hanabi, she has promised well now, and she will definitely be lazy when she goes back. Hyuga-chen shook his head. Actually watching the fight between the two of them is not as interesting as watching the fight between Kushina and Tsunade. So Hyuga-chen simply called Shueheim to chat with Shueheim. Is Snowheim here? I'm playing with the little guy Lalulas, are you okay? Shueheim replied. It's okay, I'm just bored and want to chat with you for a while. Then you can talk to someone else. I don't have time to chat with you right now. By the way, Lalulas said that after seeing you, I must teach you a good lesson. Shueheim said suddenly. Lalu Lassie wants to teach me. I didn't provoke Lalu Lassie. Why did she teach me? Hyuga-chen was full of doubts. These days, he has been going to play with Laluras too. Lalulas said that the time you spend with her is very short each time, and she feels uncomfortable and wants to teach you a lesson. Shueheim said. Then you tell her that I won't play with her in the future and see how she can teach me a lesson. Tell her yourself. After Shueheim finished speaking, Lalu Lassie appeared in Hyuga-chen's arms. Hyuga-chen was speechless, but he didn't expect Shueheim to suddenly transfer Lalu drawing out of the system space. Of course Hyuga-chen didn't know that Shueheim and Lalu Lassie were playing cards. Shueheim kept losing now and wanted to get out, so Lalu Lassie was transferred out of the system space. Chapter 418 Uchiha Itachi died. Orochimaru escaped. Lalulas was very surprised to see Hyuga-chen, and then jumped on Hyuga-chen's head. Lalu Lassie, you are the only one who can stand on my head. No, it's a elf. Hyuga-chen pulled Lalu Lassie who was standing on his head down. Woo-woo, you don't like me anymore. Lalulas wiped away her tears sadly. Hyuga-chen has a headache. When did I say I don't like you, Tilda? The distance, Uchiha Obito frowned at Laluras. Is this a ninja beast? This is the first time he has seen such a ninja beast that is very similar to humans. Lalu Lassie, long time no see. Hanabi greeted Lalu Lassie. HMPH, Lalulas doesn't want to see you. Hanabi was very unhappy after eating it, but Hyuga-chen was very happy to see Hanabi's shriveled appearance. This time, Hanabi didn't watch the fight between Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke, and reached out and grabbed the small horn above Lalu Lassie's head. You said you don't want to see me, do you want to be cleaned up by me? Hanabi made a vicious expression. Brother, Hanabi, she bullied me. Lalulas looked at Hyuga-chen aggrievedly. Although she couldn't beat Hanabi, she could find Hyuga-chen. Don't bully Lalu Lassie. Hyuga-chen reached out and knocked on Hanabi's head, and a small bag appeared on Hanabi's head. The hurt Hanabi wanted to cry, but when she saw Lalu Lassie's complacent look, she immediately stopped the tears and looked at Lalu Lassie unyieldingly. Brother, she's still staring at me, I'm so scared. Lalulas said, grabbing Hyuga-chan's clothes. Hyuga-chen tapped at Lalu Lassie. You're going too far, Lalu Lassie. Lalu Lassie fell silent in Hyuga Chen's arms. By the way, Lalulas, is it true that you are going to teach me a lesson? Hyuga Chen suddenly asked, looking at Lalulas, who was happy to see him. Couldn't it be Shui Haim's nonsense? Yes, I just want to teach you a lesson. Lalu Lassie stood up and looked at Hyuga Chen angrily. Every time I leave with me for a while, I'm very angry. Lalura's bulging face showed that she was very angry. Hyuga Chen scratched his head, and then began to comfort Lalu Lassie. Fortunately, Lalu Lassie is very easy to fool, it is very easy to coax, and soon Lalu Lassie will not be angry. Pokemon are very simple, and Lalura's is even more simple. Boom! A shocking sound attracted Hyuga Chen's eyes, and saw Uchiha Sasuke kneeling on the ground with scars all over his body. Although Uchiha Itachi has no scars, he looks very embarrassed. His condition has been further aggravated by the battle. Now Uchiha Itachi can't live for long. When you didn't kill me, it was for my Sharingan, right? Uchiha Sasuke looked at Uchiha Itachi coldly. Uchiha Itachi was stunned for a moment, then nodded. Yes, I am for your Sharingan. Your eyes are my accessories. This is the curse of the Uchiha family. You are not my opponent. Accept your fate, Sasuke. I accept my fate. How can I accept my fate? Uchiha Sasuke was in a state of embarrassment. His body's chakra was completely exhausted. Just then, Orochimaru, who had been hiding, suddenly appeared, trying to take over Sasuke Uchiha while he was weak. Happens that Uchiha Itachi is not in a good state. If he occupies Uchiha Sasuke's body and then kills Uchiha Itachi, he will get the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which is a double-edged sword. Orochimaru's heart was full of Satomi, but he didn't expect two heads to be delivered to the door like this. Orochimaru, aren't you already dead? Uchiha Sasuke was shocked. Orochimaru didn't explain it at all, using the technique of Hachimaru, which is also Orochimaru's strongest technique, and can transform into an Orochi. And Uchiha Itachi's face was solemn, and he knew that Orochimaru would not be finished so easily, and Uchiha Itachi's goal was to kill Orochimaru completely. Orochimaru is the real Xiaoqiang. Hyuga Chen commented, this is indeed the case. Among the villains, Orochimaru lived to the end. It is true that I can live to the end without dying. I didn't see Uchiha Madara holding it like this, so I didn't die. But at that time Orochimaru had abandoned the dark and turned to the light. Like Orochimaru who abandoned the dark and turned to the light should go to pick up the lunch after finishing what they should do, but Orochimaru survived and broke the rules, which is very remarkable. Uchiha Itachi uses Susanoo forcibly regardless of his physical condition, and he wants to kill Orochimaru completely here. The current Uchiha Itachi is worse than the original. In the original, Uchiha Sasuke at this time does not have Mangekyo, and his strength is not so strong. Originally, Uchiha Itachi was in a bad state, but now it looks like he can't beat Orochimaru. Orochimaru is still alive. Uchiha Obito frowned, surprised by the sudden intrusion of Orochimaru. Although Uchiha Itachi's state is not good, it does not mean that Orochimaru's state is good. That is, without the Yata Mirror and the Ten-Fist Sword, Orochimaru is still not the opponent of Uchiha Itachi. Because now Uchiha Itachi is desperate. The Orochimaru was beheaded by Uchiha Itachi, but Uchiha Itachi could not seal Orochimaru without the Ten-Fist Sword. Orochimaru didn't die in the hands of Uchiha Itachi, knowing that he was no match for the hasty escape. After Orochimaru escaped, Uchiha Itachi removed the curse mark left by Orochimaru. Even if Orochimaru could not be completely eliminated, he would also remove the curse mark he left on Sasuke. After all this was done, Uchiha Itachi was exhausted, and without even saying a word, he was completely dead. At this time, Uchiha Sasuke was lying on the ground, looking at Uchiha Itachi's body. He didn't know what to say, he just lay on the ground weakly. Uchiha Itachi is still dead, but Orochimaru is still alive, which is quite surprising. Hyuga Chen shook his head, hugged Lalu Lassie and then took Hanabi's hand, and left here instantly. After Hyuga-chen left, Uchiha Obito breathed a sigh of relief. He was afraid that Hyuga-chen would poach Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Obito walked over and found that Uchiha Sasuke had passed out. Taking the bodies of Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Obito immediately leaves the Land of Water. He shouldn't have let the brothers Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke duel in the Land of Water, or he wouldn't have met Hyuga-chen. Fortunately, nothing changed, which made Uchiha Obito relieved. The next step is to fool Uchiha Sasuke and ask him to do things for him. With Uchiha Sasuke's extreme character, it seems a bit difficult. However, it is easy to take advantage of the extreme personality. Uchiha Obito has decided to tell Uchiha the truth about Sasuke's genocide first. First trick Uchiha Sasuke to deal with Konoha, then get Kyuubi, Nine Tails, in hand. As long as he gets Kyuubi, Nine Tails, he is not afraid of anything, and after becoming a Ten Tails Jinchuriki, column force, he doesn't even have to be afraid of Hyuga-chen, who has been pressing on his heart. Chapter 419 Attacking Konoha. Can you take me? Back at the Akatsuki base, seeing that they were ready to attack Nagato of Konoha, Uchiha Obito immediately stopped them. What do you mean? Konoha's Kyuubi, Nine Tails, is just short of it now, and we can gather all the nine-tailed beasts. Why stop me? Nagato looked at Uchiha Obito badly. I'm not stopping you, but I'm letting you postpone for a few days, because I found a new helper, a strong new helper, who can ensure that we are safe. I always have a bad premonition. Uchiha Obito said. From Orochimaru, he felt that something was wrong, and he always felt that Orochimaru would do something, and it might not be good for him. With our strength, can't we win another Konoha? Nagato, be careful in everything, the more you have to be careful towards the end. Uchiha Obito said solemnly. Nagato thought for a while, finally nodded, and promised Uchiha Obito to delay attacking Konoha for a few days. Who is your helper? Nagato asked. It's him, Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Obito took Uchiha Sasuke out of the Kamui space, while Uchiha Sasuke was still in a coma. Uchiha Sasuke is still alive, doesn't that mean Itachi is already? Kisame Hoshigaki asked quickly. That's right, Uchiha Itachi is dead now. Uchiha Obito took Uchiha Itachi's body out of the Kamui space as well. Uchiha Itachi should be stronger than Uchiha Sasuke. Why is Uchiha Itachi dead now? Nagato asked, looking at Uchiha Obito suspiciously. Because of Akatsuki's traitor Orochimaru, Uchiha Itachi had already won, but Orochimaru intervened and Uchiha Itachi died. Orochimaru. Isn't that Orochimaru dead? Is it a suspended animation? Kakuzu frowned. Naoki couldn't help raising his eyebrows. He didn't expect his former teacher, Orochimaru, to die. But Naoki didn't really care whether Orochimaru was dead or not. Orochimaru. Kisame Hoshigaki's eyes flashed coldly. Forget Orochimaru, the main thing now is to attack Konoha and get Kyuubi, Nine Tails, over. Nagato made a move to stop the conversation. But I want to know, is Uchiha Sasuke reliable? When Orochimaru taught him, he still betrayed Orochimaru. Nagato asked, looking at Uchiha Sasuke lying on the ground. Don't worry about this. It's absolutely reliable, just relying on the truth of Uchiha's genocide. Uchiha Sasuke and Konoha will be at odds with each other. Uchiha Obito assured. Wait 2 more days at most, and definitely attack Konoha after 2 days. Nagato set a deadline, and he can't wait now. Attack on Konoha, can you take me with you? Hyuga-chan asked, standing over the head of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Everyone in Akatsuki was startled, and then looked up at Hyuga-chan who was standing on top of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, all but Naoki showing alert eyes. And Uchiha Obito felt that his kiba was hurting. How could he meet Hyuga-chan again after only a few hours? You guys don't seem to be very welcoming to me. Hyuga-chan jumped off Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. How could it not be welcome? I am very welcome. Naoki said with a smile. Why are you here? When did you come? Nagato asked with a gloomy face. I'm Uchiha Madara's collaborator. Why can't I be here? I've been here for half an hour, and you haven't found me. I'm really disappointed. Hyuga-chen said indifferently. Nagato frowned, then looked at the masked man. Isn't he Uchiha Madara? Now Hyuga-chen actually said that he is a collaborator of Uchiha Madara, so the two of them are collaborators. He is indeed my collaborator. Uchiha Obito said in a low voice. You're not worthy to cooperate with me. Hyuga-chan's disdain was not concealed at all. Everyone heard the words. They looked at Uchiha Obito strangely, and wanted to know what Uchiha Obito would do. This was to look down on him nakedly. Especially Nagato, staring closely at Uchiha Obito. The strength of this mysterious masked man has always been a mystery. If the two of them fight, he might be able to take the opportunity to see the strength of the masked man. But to Nagato's disappointment, Uchiha Obito didn't say anything. But this also made Nagato even more determined. This masked man is definitely not Uchiha Madara. He has also investigated the information of Uchiha Madara. Judging from the information Nagato has obtained, Uchiha Madara will never wear a mask to cover up, nor will he remain indifferent to provocations. Chen, why are you here? Naoki asked suspiciously. Just knowing you're going to attack Konoha village, so I came here to see. Naoki became more puzzled after hearing Hyugatatsu's words. How did you know we were going to attack Konoha village? I told Lord Chen, said Ju standing in the dark corner. Nagato and Uchiha Obito both frowned. Especially Uchiha Obito, who was really angry in his heart, absolutely went to inform Hyuga-chen that he didn't say a word to him. It is Uchiha Madara's person after all. It is not reliable at all. It seems that there is a way to get rid of it, especially Black Zetsu. Uchiha Obito thought of extinction in his heart. Nagato looked at Hyuga Tatsu, then at Ju, then at Uchiha Obito, and walked out. Pain 6 paths also went out like 6 followers. Kakuzu pulled Naoki on and went out with Kisame Hoshigaki, and now Hyuga Tatsu, Uchiha Obito and Black-White Zetsu were left at the Akatsuki base. Absolutely, what do you mean? Uchiha Obito finally couldn't help but asked coldly. He has always followed his orders, and now he feels betrayed. Obito, we are Madara-sama's subordinates. Madara and Chen-sama are collaborators, and we should inform Chen-sama. Black Zetsu said with a special meaning. This Uchiha Sasuke seems to be waking up. Hyuga-chen pointed to Uchiha Sasuke on the ground. Uchiha Obito looked at Uchiha Sasuke on the ground and found that his fingers moved, as if he was about to wake up. Soon Uchiha Sasuke opened his eyes, and what caught his eye was the guy with the Uzumaki mask in front of him. You get out. Uchiha Sasuke sat up, and the first sentence was to let Uchiha Obito get out. Uchiha Obito was stunned. He didn't say anything, didn't do anything, and was called to get out of nowhere. What does this mean? Uchiha Obito's face turned gloomy. Today, he was out of breath, and now Uchiha Sasuke told him to get out, which made Uchiha Obito angry all of a sudden. Is he acting too friendly? I have already killed Uchiha Itachi, and I don't need you anymore. What are you doing here? Do you want to be killed by me? Uchiha Sasuke truly deduces what is called the Byakugan wolf. Uchiha Sasuke is a very realistic person. Now that Uchiha Itachi is dead, seeing that Uchiha Obito is useless, he unceremoniously let him go. Chapter 420 Mad Dog Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Obito showed murderous intent. However, Uchiha Obito only showed killing intent, and Uchiha Sasuke had already started, and took out kunai and stabbed Uchiha Obito without hesitation. Kunai passed through Uchiha Obito as if Uchiha Obito was just a phantom and did not exist at all. Uchiha Sasuke frowned slightly. Space ninjutsu is indeed very good. Uchiha Obito is even more gloomy. If it wasn't for his Kamui, he had become accustomed to it. When Uchiha Sasuke stabbed him just now, he subconsciously used Kamui. Maybe he was really stabbed by a sudden sneak attack. The face of Uchiha Sasuke's behavior of the Byakugan wolf, Uchiha Obito couldn't bear it anymore and kicked Uchiha Sasuke out. He also taught Uchiha Sasuke Sharingan how to use skills, and he is half of Uchiha Sasuke's teacher. I didn't expect this guy to be so ruthless. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes darkened, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and nearly fainted. Seeing Uchiha Sasuke staring at him with hatred, Uchiha Obito was even more angry in his heart. At this time, Uchiha Obito has changed his plan. He wants to kill Uchiha Sasuke, so he doesn't need this fighting power. You are good or bad, but you actually bully the disabled. Don't be afraid, Sasuke, I will definitely protect you. Hyuga-chen, who had been watching the play, suddenly kindly helped Uchiha Sasuke up. Uchiha Sasuke only saw Hyuga-chen, then immediately shook off Hyuga-chen, his body took a few steps back. Hyuga-chen was not angry either, and looked at Uchiha Sasuke with a smile on his face. Sasuke, you misunderstood me, I'm actually a good person. After Uchiha Obito heard it, he pouted his lips while holding back his nausea. Don't you want to know, why did Uchiha Itachi kill his family? Are you not curious at all? Do you really believe that he killed the family to measure his power? After Uchiha Sasuke listened, he immediately stared at Hyuga-chen, and asked in a hoarse voice, you know? Yes, not only do I know, but I also see it clearly. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. And the people who participated in the extermination that day were not only Uchiha Itachi. Can Uchiha Itachi alone destroy the Uchiha family so easily? Who else? Uchiha Sasuke had lost his mind. Far in the sky, close in front of you. You mean you? I'm going to kill you. Uchiha Sasuke frantically pulled out his Kusanagi sword and slashed at Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen looked at the brainless Uchiha Sasuke and said that he was speechless. Have you heard what I said? Hyuga-chen released a sweetened, water-style, poured Sasuke Uchiha's head, calmed him down, and said, it's not me, it's this guy with the mask. Uchiha Obito's face was gloomy and cold, but there was a mask blocking it, so he couldn't see how distorted his face was. It's you. Uchiha Sasuke frantically took the knife and slashed at Uchiha Obito. Uchiha Obito gave Uchiha Sasuke another kick, kicking him half to death. Sasuke, don't get excited. Actually, Uchiha Itachi exterminated the clan for a reason. Why? Hyuga-chen pondered for a while, and then said, at that time, the top officials of Konoha and the Uchiha family were at odds, so the top officials of Konoha sent Uchiha Itachi to destroy the Uchiha family. Konoha High Level sent Uchiha Itachi to exterminate the clan, and he really went. He bastard, they all deserve to die, so should you. Uchiha Sasuke growled angrily. Is this guy going to be the Roaring Emperor? I can't help but want to kill this guy now. Hyuga-chen wanted to slap this guy to death. Hurry up and tell me, who is the high-ranking Konoha? Uchiha Sasuke asked with the Kusanagi sword pointed at Hyuga-chen. I suddenly can't help it now, I want to shoot you to death, do you think I want to shoot you to death? Hyuga-chen said blankly. Hurry up and tell me. Uchiha Sasuke looked at Hyuga-chen coldly, his eyes filled with killing intent. The gloom on Uchiha Obito's face disappeared, and he chuckled, looking like he was watching a play. This guy is actually talking to Lord Chen like this, isn't he impatient? White Zetsu also watched this scene with a good show. Black Zetsu didn't speak, and looked at Uchiha Sasuke deeply. He knew that Uchiha Sasuke was the reincarnation of Otsutsuki Indra's chakra. Dealt with the reincarnation of Indra's chakra many times, Black Zetsu is already very aware of Indra's chakra aura. It was that power that was still hidden, and Black Zetsu could feel it. Just when Uchiha Obito and Black-White Zetsu thought that Hyuga Tatsu would get angry and kill Uchiha Sasuke, Hyuga Tatsu suddenly smiled. It doesn't matter if you want to know, they're the root leader Danzo, and 2 advisors to Konoha, and 3 generations of Hokage, but he's dead. Uchiha Sasuke clenched his fists. He had all of them in his mind, and he must kill them. They are the high-level officials of Konoha. I'm afraid you don't have the ability to kill them. Hyuga Chen said lightly. I will kill them sooner or later, and you are no exception. I will kill you as well. Uchiha Sasuke looked at Hyuga Chen coldly. Okay, I'm waiting for you to kill me, but I'm afraid you don't have the ability. Hyuga Chen looked at Uchiha Sasuke indifferently. Uchiha Sasuke is going to kill him. It's not that Hyuga Chen looked down on him. It was impossible for Uchiha Sasuke to reach his strength. Your vision must be blurry, right? Put on Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo. Only by getting the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, you have the strength of 380 revenge. Uchiha Obito looked at Hyuga Chen, not understanding his purpose, but subconsciously vigilant in his heart. Black Zetsu was also suspicious, but he hid it well and didn't have any mood swings. Hyuga Chen and Otsutsuki Hagoromo, who do not know where they are the two biggest enemies of Black Zetsu, and he must not show any flaws. Uchiha Sasuke thought for a moment, and then gouged out Uchiha Itachi's eyes, and at the same time gouged out his own eyes fiercely. After that, he pressed Uchiha Itachi's eyes into his own sockets. In the world of Hokage, changing eyes is like a child. Uchiha Sasuke also knows some simple medical ninjutsu, and he can do it himself. Uchiha Itachi's eyes, he found that he couldn't open his eyes at all. You lied to me, Uchiha Sasuke roared furiously. Do I have to lie to you? What right do you have to be lied to by me? You just put on your eyes, you need to get used to it. Hyuga-chan pouted in disdain. No matter what your purpose is, I will definitely kill you in the future. Hyuga-chan is even more disdainful, and he doesn't even look at his bare appearance, and wants to kill me. You can't kill me if I stand still. There is no use for clamoring all day long, and his strength is not very good, and he is more happy than anyone else. This guy is like a mad dog. He knows how to bark all day long. Don't you understand that a dog that doesn't bark is a dog that can really bite?